begin without them. So previously on D&D, I think we closed with you guys being escorted into Mumble's hideout. The door slamming shut behind you as Jet stood bodyguard. Kig doing his best to hide behind the large frame of Leo, seemingly wanting no part of this building, no part of this meeting, and doing everything he can to be as small and hidden as possible.
Me having my power being out.
Say that again?
I said me having my power being out.
Yes, when you lost... Yeah, Lav disconnected there at the very end last session. Right. Not currently. He's still here.
I was actually thinking, my power out. What does that mean? What spell did he prepare? I have my power out.
Oh, you know.
Sorry.
There's power.
It's right here in my hand. Can't you see it?
Just dangling out for all the world to see.
Oh, man. All right. You guys are escorted by these two large, brutish hobgoblins walking through these narrow, twisting corridors. There are small, monstrous humanoids in various corners cooking God knows what over open flame. You can hear the roar of some kind of competition, maybe dice that's gotten carried away or some kind of fight club. Cheers and jeers. Familiar sights and smells, until eventually you're brought before a large sort of semicircular table. It's got multiple entrances and exits to it, but there's this piled mound of reclaimed bits of the flying city of Eros that have been assembled into a large chair. Someone might charitably call it a throne. And atop it sits the largest bugbear you've ever seen. He's got to be 8 feet tall, 400 pounds, and the only distinguishing feature that sets him apart from the average bugbear is that the left side of his jaw is separated and missing. So the mandibular side of the left half of his face is just gone. It's always constantly drooling, maybe sometimes even a little bit of blood, and his tongue occasionally flops out of the socket, dangling just above his chest.
Well, I see why they call him Mumbles.
He gestures to a smaller goblin woman who very gently motions to the guards, and they separate from you and go to the far corners of the room, either no longer perceiving you as a threat, or you're not sure why, but they seem very comfortable with letting you just stand where you will stand. Kig, if you're going to try to remain behind Leo, I need you to make a stealth check. With disadvantage. Please and thank you.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
In a very soft voice, she says, I understand you've come to us seeking passage, pointing up, to above. What do you offer in trade?
Guys.
She is glaring, almost staring through Leo, and she puts on this bejeweled monocle over one eye. Step closer so that I might see you more clearly. Who's that hiding behind you?
No one.
This is going to go bad. Let's start off by saying this is going to go bad. But Zaz has been doing the talking, so he's going to try and keep doing the talking. Oh, is bluff not a skill anymore?
No.
It's just kind of persuasion.
It's
now.
all rolled into persuasion.
Oh, I'm bad at that too, but rest in peace, bluff. Zaz is going to step forward and say, This is my brother, and we're just trying to get up to the surface. We have gold. We just need a way through, and I don't have any work contracts right now. Can you help?
Yeah, brother. Right. That's what I am. It's better than me calling you my pets.
Make your persuasion roll for Zaz.
Yes. Told you it was gonna go bad, but I had to try.
Smiling, she says, "Brothers indeed. Not that you don't all look alike anyway."
Oh shit!
Rude.
Racist.
She just sort of motions, like pushing you aside just from a great distance. Like her little gesture is almost like forcing you by sheer willpower to just step aside. You, I don't care about. You don't look like you'd be good at much of anything. Him, however,
Oh.
him I remember. He was pretty good with a sword. And then suddenly,
sword in my life.
Mumbles stands up.
Better with a bow.
Clenched fists. King, he says as he's mumbling just mounds of saliva out of the open part of his left mandibular jaw that's missing.
I love that little sound you made.
It seems as though the jig is up, Kig. The Kig is up. Mumbles has recognized you. He gurgles again. No! Dare you show your face in here to me?
It's been a while. How you been? I see the paws looking good.
I trust you brought my money.
I mean, we never really settled on a price.
I have a number in mind. As he says that, the guards that were previously at the side of the room all of a sudden draw weapons, almost like they were given some kind of subliminal signal. The room has become tense and dangerous.
What did
All
you
eyes
do?
are on you, Kig.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I didn't make it. I fell, and that's all I can remember. I don't have your money.
A man of your skill can surely find some way to make some gold for me.
I have some gold on me now, but I don't think it's going to suffice. How much are we talking?
Motions for one of the guards. One of these giant hulking hobgoblins just comes up with his outstretched fist. You notice the long, jagged talons on his hand have been replaced with steel barbs.
Oh.
His open palm is as big as your head, and he's looking to receive something from you.
Kig? I don't have anything.
Then you've come here to volunteer as labor, and you've brought additional employees.
These are not employees. These people have nothing to do with what happened back then. I have 90 gold. That's all I can pay, but nothing else.
The whole room laughs as you fumble through your coin purse counting 90 gold. There's like just this guffaw that fills the whole room. Some people think it might genuinely be a joke. Others are just like trying to break the tension of this man not just killing you outright at the insult of 90 gold.
Guys, I might need some help here.
I think you need to solve the problem that you caused yourself.
Yep.
Staring directly at you, unbroken eye contact, he takes 3 steps down off of his trash throne, moving towards you. Why would you come here without my money? You must have known that it would be death.
I don't think he. I kind of walk forward and be like, I don't think he came here willingly.
Kig, you notice that. Oh, let me find a way to phrase this delicately.
Uh-oh.
You notice that Zan, who is the wife of Mumbles, the female goblin that did the introductions here, is like biting her lower lip, and just not making eye contact with the situation. You remember that she was always kind of fond of you.
Uh-oh.
It might be worth trying to appeal to her, either directly or indirectly. Is there anything you think that Kig could say or do to save his bacon? Or does this devolve into mortal combat?
I mean, we have to go up to the city. We have no other choice. We're stuck. We're trying to save Pendilor. We were on a mission from the Queen.
Which queen?
You know,
He looks around and then puts his giant bugbear hand back towards Zan. This is the only queen in Lowtown.
oh lordy. You know, Gwendolyn.
As Kig, make just a generic charisma roll, just a strength of inner personality.
Not gonna go well.
You are very charismatic, and people do like you. As Mumbles draws closer and closer, he's now just mere feet from you. If he were to draw the jagged scimitar from his waist, he could easily cut your head from its shoulders in one deft stroke. As he moves his hand towards his waist, you hear Zan speak, "Oh, a moment," and rushes to his side, and he kneels down. It's awkward to watch. He has to literally go to like left knee, right knuckles on the ground to get low enough for her, this small little goblin thing, to whisper directly into his ear. The whole while, just torrents of spit are drooling out of that left half of his face. And then she gently kisses him on the cheek and goes back to where she was sitting at his right hand at the throne. Zan thinks you have come back to work off your debt.
Work, sure. I mean, I don't really consider any of it work, but that's what we're doing.
Are you still any good with a sword, Kig?
My friends tell me I'm better with a bow.
I think he's a dagger.
With a bow. Kig.
I thought it was a
bow.
trident.
That's ridiculous.
My skills are still here, though. Yes.
The men around the room, all of these armed hobgoblins and goblinoid creatures, all start to not chuckle, but it's like almost like excitement. You can feel excitement building among them. And he says, "I have games this day. You remember my games, don't you, Kig?"
Oh no.
No.
I don't like
I
games.
can't.
Can I refuse?
Mumbles, I can't get it back. Can't. Nothing
He's
I can do.
referring to the gladiatorial combat that he hosts in Lowtown.
Please no.
Perhaps you can win me some gold like we used to in the old days.
I'm just an entertainer.
And that's all I need you to do, my boy. He then just, like, his posture and demeanor have gone from aggressive, ripping your head off, to like almost jovial as he just starts walking circles around the group. Tell me, are any of you good with weapons? He slaps Leo on the arm. He looks like a stout one. Perhaps we can utilize this strength. No one.
Look, guys, I'm the one guy that doesn't have much weapon skill.
I don't either. I have 0.
I mean,
Me and
Leo
Leo.
does.
I kind of raised my hand. It's like, if you need someone to fight, I'm always here. I don't want to.
He parts the group to see who's speaking because he can't see over even the shorter people in the group to see you. You're sprightly, aren't you? Small little thing. But I don't underestimate any combatant. He rubs where the left half of his jaw used to be. Not anymore.
Kind of eye over to Kig, and I'm like, uh-huh.
He then goes through an elaborate explanation that I'll spare you me drooling over my mic for. That involves him rehashing an old scheme that he used to run with Kig, where he would create a deceptive expectation. Either Kig would overplay his ability and then deliberately lose in these arena games, or he would woefully underskill his ability. Mumbles would bet heavily on Kig, and then Kig would become the victor at the end, earning him tons and tons of gold. Because a large game is scheduled for tonight, he's hoping that you'd be willing to do the same thing. This would be a way for you to pay back the money that he feels he's owed. He poses it less as a choice and more as a this or shallow graves.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It doesn't really sound like got much of a choice. All right, what's this? What's the scheme?
I mean, I can do it.
I always knew these games were fixed. So what are we going to do? Are we going to win or are we going to lose?
His plan involves
Probably lose.
talking up the other people. So he wants you guys to be the sleeper. He can't control how good they might be, but he remembers Kig being quite good. And if his skills haven't diminished or perished altogether, he thinks it's best to go all in, betting on Kig. And then, hopefully winning the day, making out like a bandit.
Yeah.
He not so subtly suggests that if things don't go well for him and he loses all of his money, that he won't be the only big loser tonight.
Kig's
So
got some reputation in Lowtown.
So fix the table, make the other guy look good, and then we beat the pants off him while you bet on us. Sounds pretty easy. All right, where's how we selling the mark?
Gurgling, I like this one. When all said and done, if you need employment.
Just because I'm good at something doesn't mean it's my line of work. But thanks for the offer.
I will.
She's my goblin anyway.
Yeah, back off, fella.
Hey, Dax.
I'm literally just popping in to say hello. No, I'm getting ready to go down to Los Angeles right now, so I was online briefly. But yeah, so have fun.
Thanks.
And thank you, and I'll see you guys for the next session.
Be safe.
Will do.
Hey,
Yes.
I'll just we're going to skip the week of Shadowlands release, so I'll put a notation of schedule in Discord, but we'll be dark for a little bit.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Travel safe,
Thank you,
Dex. Be
guys.
careful.
Will
Yep.
do.
Drive safe.
Bye.
Bye.
I feel like I should have known that.
Yeah, he mentioned it last session, but I completely forgot. So
I only remember it as a May. Could not have been paying attention though. I'm sorry, I don't remember where I was. Oh, right. The plan. Once you seem to have agreed, air quotes, he has your weapons brought into the chamber, and asks for each of you to display your strengths.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
So, Kig, just real quick, give him a demonstration. You can make either an attack roll, an intelligence roll, or rather a spellcasting attribute roll, or a performance check to just awe him and the people in attendance.
Nice.
People are impressed. Your work with the blade doesn't seem to have decreased. You live up to the reputation. People are shocked and amazed at how quick you move. The strength of your strikes seems reasonable. He puts one mark with his heel in the sand of the pit you guys are standing on, and he says, "One for the pit!" He looks next at Kel. "Show me! Show!" He points at you.
I don't know what would be. I was not expecting to have to present. What are my choices again? I'm sorry.
You can roll a spellcasting attribute check to sort of like make a arcane flourish of some kind. You can make an attack roll with a weapon that you're proficient in, or you can make a performance check to kind of just, if you can't, baffle them with your wits, or dazzle them with your wits, baffle them with your bullshit.
Okay. I'm gonna do
Okay. Creating just scintillating beams of enervating energy. Interesting. He looks to Zan, and Zan gives him a nod. Fine, another for the pit! And makes a second mark in the sand. He looks to Jezza next. You, little one, show me.
Okay. Are there any of the hobgoblin guards around still?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to show off a feat of dexterity. I'd like to bait one of them into attacking me by saying something extremely rude in Goblin.
Okay.
And then attempt to dodge everything they throw
You
at
have
me.
to. I think you have to say what you're going to say because I know Goblin.
yeah.
All right. I don't know how Goblin actually sounds, so I can't speak.
Well,
it as
don't
a
speak
language.
in Goblin. Say what you're going to say in Goblin.
Okay. I look over to the big guy and I look over to one of his guards and I say, "Hey, was your mother a troll, or are you just hit with every ugly stick on the way out the womb?"
Oof.
Oof.
That's all. That's all I say is the equivalent in Goblin of oof.
Which sounds a lot like oof in common.
Yeah. So would it be a dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
Or acrobatics, or
Well, let's do acrobatics. That's probably more cinematic if you're trying to display your abilities. I like that as a substitution.
oh, that's with advantage. Okay. Hold up. Oh, okay. Nope. I guess
11 was the result. Yeah. That's not a great roll. You dodge the first one, but he kicks you square in your gut and sends you sprawling on the ground. And as he draws his weapon, like, the rest of the team starts to interpose themselves between the attacker and you, and he kind of gets the gist that this was supposed to be a showcase of your potential as a fighter, but it didn't go the way you were hoping.
I stand up and dust myself off and say, "Didn't hurt at all."
I like your spirit, but perhaps one for the stands. He looks at Zan, and she nods. And he goes to the other side of the sands with his heel mark. One for the stands! He points to Zaz next. Small, scaly one. Kiggs. Brother, show me.
Rooms lit by torches and candles?
Yes.
Perfect. Zaz is going to pull out of his pocket, like reach deep into his pocket, and after a couple seconds, pull out a peanut. and then is going to crush that peanut in his hand and summon up a massive gust of wind. And I'm just going to knock out every flame and document on a table I can.
Nice. The breeze suddenly snuffs out all of the lit candles. Even the massive bonfire just almost winks out. Papers are swirling. Dust from the sand picks up. People have to close their eyes. You hear one of the hobgoblins in the corner like just jump and scurry because he's a little scared of the dark. He runs quickly to the campfire at the center of the room. Good. Good. You'll need more than that trick, but good. And he marks 1 for the pit.
Zaz's going to walk over and sit down next to Kig and eat the pit.
Waste not, want not. He lastly looks at Alexis.
Oh.
Girl! Small girl! Show me!
What were my options again? I'm sorry.
Up to dealer's choice, really, but my suggestions were a spellcasting attribute roll, or an attack roll with a weapon that you're proficient in, or a performance check. Nice.
I'm gonna choose the performance.
Yeah, you recite all of the amazing deeds that you've accomplished. You use prestidigitation to create a booming echoing to your voice. You make shadows longer and darker and creeping, swirling purple tendrils of energy surround you. Several of the guards take one step back, like they're almost not intimidated, but like literally fearful of the shadow energy that you wield, it being kind of foreign to them. And he evaluates. You watch Mumbles really think on this. As a boy had a dog, all bark, no bite. Is this you?
You're gonna figure it out.
He motions to let you make your mark in the sand, whether you want to be in the pit or in the stands.
I picked the stands.
Okay.
Shouting from the stands at the back, "In the pit, you coward!"
Lastly, he looks at Leo. Without even needing to trigger one of his fitful rages, he just smashes a small crater in the ground with the mandill, and flexes to such a degree that the guards don't even want to approach him to sort of settle the dust. He's immediately put in the pit, no questions asked. With that said, he's going to basically offer you guys, he calls it lodging, but you're put in a temporary holding cage with a bunch of other gladiatorial combatants for tonight. And you wait, just sort of cooling your heels for a few hours. Is there anything you guys want to do preparation-wise while in captivity?
Zaz is going to spend the whole day praying.
Seems good.
And kind of like longing to be home. It's like it's just across town. This is kind of bullcrap.
Nothing better to do.
Does anyone want to ask Kig what a reasonable expectation of the performances are for tonight?
That would be a good question. Yes.
To Kig's memory, these games, while brutal and violent, are not often fatal. Lowtown's population is not dense enough that you could afford to kill dozens of people a night. But, maim, bloody, definitely. And he mumbles, despite his truly disheveled and awkward appearance, and the way he underplays intelligence is actually pretty brilliant at making money, especially through illicit means, has taken the idea of the gladiatorial games and really just turned it to 11 by creating audience participation
Uh-oh.
aspects to most of the fights. So the pit team, you guys were just put in the cages. The audience team,
Hey!
Zan explains to you that in the stands, you'll be responsible for talking up or talking down different combatants based on the betting scheme.
Oh, that's perfect.
So you guys will have to be, trying to sway the opinion of the crowd and try to influence how and where that crowd is spending money to interact with the fight, and hopefully increase the odds against Kig winning, so that way when Kig wins, it's a giant purse that makes Mumbles enough money that he considers the debt paid.
Can I do one thing in preparation?
Absolutely.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Ouch time.
Ouch time.
Meta question for any of the casters in the group. Do any of you guys have the skill that lets you, like, talk to people telepathically?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's not useful to me.
Okay, then.
I have a very set amount of spells, and most of them are combat spells, because I can only take a set amount of spells.
I thought it was a cantrip. That's why I was asking, so.
No.
Okay.
I could theoretically... you could theoretically use prestidigitation for that, but you'd have to be really close to them. It doesn't have that far of a range.
What level is that?
Yeah, you'd have to be within 10 feet.
Oh, yeah.
So
No,
theoretically,
that's- 20.
theoretically, I could talk to somebody, like whisper in their ear, like 10 feet away, but
I don't know.
That's
Just
kinda
if
not
there was a
useful.
way you guys needed to communicate with me while I'm up in the stands.
Nope.
That's all I was thinking, but other than that, if it's your actions and my silver tongue, I guess let's get this thing going.
when did they add the fur description only on the top?
So, I do want to preface this by saying there was a very large Roll20 update. This week or last week, I haven't really been doing a lot in the game, and at least on the DM side of things, everything looks different. Especially like the page toolbar. I don't know what may or may not have been affected by that change. I've encountered one bug this afternoon while I was prepping for tonight, so there's a chance something happens and I just have to sort of go with the flow, but
Hey, no worries. It's all reasonable. We can play around it.
that was my hope as well. Here's the setup. You guys are, when the time has come, taken out of your cells and ushered into this large, sand-filled coliseum. It's almost evening. The sun is definitely setting on its way down. The audience is full, despite how sparse the image appears to be. There are other combatants in the arena. I've put Alexis and Jezza in the stands. These fellas here are vendors that are walking around selling small glass bulbs, like maybe softball size, that have a thick, viscous black substance in them. Here is Mumbles and Zan and two of their bodyguard sitting in a position to overwatch the games.
Okay.
They look like your ex-roommate. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, there's another guard who's got a giant golden drum, like a giant empty drum that sits there, and some kind of, it looks like a pronged charge emitter of some kind, almost like a Tesla coil. It's just wrapped copper wire hundreds and hundreds of times, and a large switch. You have no idea what that does or what the inference is there. But once you guys are ushered into the arena, the guards announce the arrival of Mumbles and Zan, and the crowd cheers uproariously. Then they introduce the fighters for tonight. As they introduce, Rhaegar, the Dragonborn, people start to cheer. Jezza and Alexis, do you want to try to do anything to manipulate the crowd's impression?
Oh, they're nothing.
start as Rhaegar's coming, being introduced. I start screaming, "Overgrown lizard!"
Both of you make persuasion checks.
This is my fourth.
Well, that
This
was
is my
cool.
forte. I've got a 7+ in persuasion.
Your jabs at his parentage and your sneers of derision have, at least in the small areas that you guys were being heard, sort of turned the crowd against the Dragonborn initially. You hear boos begin to magnify and echo throughout the arena. This patchy one-eyed guy gets immediately booed and jeered by the crowd, apparently not a fan favorite. Would you like to do anything to manipulate the crowds?
How is he introduced?
He is a berserker, but the way everybody sort of, it's almost like laughing and jeering. It's, you think maybe he has failed to perform in the past. He's still wearing bandages from his last attempt.
Nope, not anything for him.
Okay.
Hey, Feisty, mind muting that? Sounds good.
Next, introduced the Elven Prince of Blades. He juggles 5 daggers while he's being introduced, and then sheaths them all on like bandoliers around his wrists and chest. He's very charismatic and very pretty. His face unscarred. He's easily the crowd favorite. Everybody's on their feet cheering for him.
I'll cheer for him too. Why not?
In a way that you want to try to amplify the crowd's opinion of him. Okay, make a persuasion. Nice. You are very persuasive. People like this guy. I do enjoy myself.
Yeah, elf.
Yeah, the elf.
Yeah, elf. He's a dude. He's so pretty. Next they introduce this man as Deadeye. He's got 2 different bows that he wears crossed against his back, and he's got a quiver on his left hip and a quiver on his right hip, as well as a hand crossbow sort of attached to his wrist, bolter style. And there's mixed feelings. There's cheers, like he's obviously had a good win streak, but there's an equal amount of boos. Like you get the impression like maybe this is a person who has cheated, or he's, in wrestling, he's the bad guy that hits somebody over the head with a chair when they're not looking.
The heel.
Yeah.
We boo him.
We boo him, sir.
We boo him, sir.
Do you want to do anything to try to shift audience perception one way or the other?
I don't know. Saventus, do we shift the perception one way or the other?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Make him out to be the good guy.
Oh, we could make him out to be the good guy. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, I think we let it ride for a moment.
Okay, and then lastly, this guy's name is only spoken in Orcish, and the closest common translation is literally the word murder. He wears only a loincloth and a greatsword.
I like this guy.
People are generally ambivalent towards him until he turns to face that section of crowd, and he does a thing where he walks along the outer perimeter, and as he walks past them, people cheer, but fall silent pretty soon after he's passed.
They're looking at his ass.
Oh, damn. The announcers then look to the assembled party. The Leo first steps forward, and he's given a chance to display. He wields his hammer, juggling it twice in the air, and they ask him if he has a fighting name. and he goes with Leo the Manville.
Perfect.
Kig, you are a known quantity. As you step forward, some people in the audience recognize you, and there's a soft chant, almost Rudy style, that starts going out over the crowd. Kig the sword! Kig the sword! Kig the sword! Kig the sword! Several people start booing in opposition.
Regardless, the
I
crowd
start
overtakes Kig, and Kig runs out and does a front flip in front of everyone and holds up both his weapons.
Make a performance check, Kig, with advantage.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah, you are acrobatic and daring. As you land, the people that were already cheering are like swooning, and some of the people who were booing have just shut up because, like, damn. Jezza and Alexis, do you want to do anything to influence the audience's perception of Kig?
Yeah, I'm gonna make him look like the biggest man ever.
You should boo me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're supposed to be dark
I know.
horses.
Yeah, I would like to scream "Broken Blade" over the top of the crowd.
I'm gonna scream, "This man's only a dagger."
Both of you make persuasion rolls, please.
I'm pretty sure one of
my
those
lord.
was about your penis.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Uh-huh.
Maybe both, depending on how it's gone. The broken blade comment cuts deep. That is an insult, especially in these hollowed sands. But Alexis is sort of really good, like deceptively, surprisingly good at sowing the seeds of discord. Like, rubbing up against one guy, being like, "If he was such a champion, why would he abandon you?" I've seen him fight. He can barely use the sword, let alone a dagger. He just seems so small and frail. Does he look sick to you? I don't think he's been eating. Until a lot of the
I'm
cheers
dead
start to die down, and people are sort of, starting to view Kig objectively. Zaz, the announcer, turns to you and asks, "What should we call you?"
Zaz is fine.
Zaz the
That's all.
Storm. I start chanting Zaz the Storm. 'Cause
Okay.
I want to.
Somebody catches onto it. There's like one kind of like half goblin fangirl that just starts waving both of her arms in the air. Where's the storm? Yeah, I love the storm. But like beyond that, no one is making a sound otherwise.
Zaz is actually going to look in the audience to see if he recognizes anybody and just like start like waving at people.
Nice.
I wave back enthusiastically, just for gets and chiggles.
Zaz, because you are a known quantity here, will you be making any attempt to disguise your personage, or like if people recognize you, they recognize you? Would you like not to be seen in this context?
No, it's fine. I'm perfectly okay being recognized. Zaz is walking into this arena just being friendly.
Nice. Good luck to you, sir, and good luck to you, sir.
Mhm.
And lastly, the attention gets passed to Kel. Do you have a fighting name?
I don't think. No, Kel doesn't really have a fighting name. Is a little confused why they're here, but it kind of just shrugs and goes along with it.
Okay.
So Kel would just be this fighting name.
Okay. The guy just shrugs and goes, They're a real killer.
Helen Keller?
Like killer, but for Kel. He was hoping for more from you. You gave him like the straight up Daria, which was awesome.
Thank you. That's what I was going for.
Jezza and Alexis, there's no response whatsoever to Kel, either for or against. Do you want to try to nudge the crowd one way or the other?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I just kind of look over at that goblin who was cheering for Zaz earlier and go, "God, you're a hussy."
She knows what she likes.
Hey.
God, you're horny.
Hey. Leave her alone.
Nothing wrong with that. At least he's not broken.
I mean that. I mean that in like we're the best friends kind of way. Okay.
Why don't each of you roll initiative for me? While as soon as Kel's introduction is done, there's a gong, a giant 10-foot gong that is rung with Mumble's bare fist, the tinny metallic echoing filling the arena. Everyone looks to the large portcullis gate that begins to rise, and the audience just cheers in uproarious laughter and guffaws of yes, yes, yes. Some of you look on horrifically as a giant, almost perfectly cube-like, mostly transparent creature begins just waddling its way slowly through the portcullis and onto the sands of the arena.
Oh no, they brought out Jelly Belly.
I like that. The crowd starts chanting Jelly Belly. They do what a modern audience might consider a wave, but in like the roiling cube ooze form of Jelly Belly.
Oh no, they're not doing the jelly.
I'm missing some initiatives.
Am I supposed to roll initiative?
Everybody, please.
Oh.
Leo needs to roll.
That's fair. That's me. At least I'm consistent. Consistency is only a virtue if you are not a fuck up. All right, Kig, you were the first person to react after your daring acrobatic display. A bizarre 12-foot cube of semi-transparent gelatin starts just wriggling its way towards you. There are decomposing bone fragments that just sort of lie floating in its amorphous form, but undigested bits of armor and sword and shield.
Yeah. I mean, I can give it the old. Give it a good try with my bow because I just feel like is anything gonna affect this beast? I think we're gonna have to use like sort of magic against it, and I don't have any magic.
I got no magic.
I have and a bow. I don't feel like walking, so I'm gonna shoot it with my short bow. What happened? Oh,
A critical hit.
that's
Roll your damage and I'll pull up the table.
that shouldn't have sneak. I didn't. Oh, I'm still on advantage. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We can just do the 11 damage.
Cool.
And roll your crit hit.
The D100.
Yeah. $30.
You are able to maneuver towards your opponent while attacking and attempt to harass them. After your attack, you can choose to attempt to grapple your opponent if you have a free hand, or attempt to shove your opponent. Well, that's melee. There must be a ranged table.
But also.
Also, don't shove or grapple the Gillette.
That is a bad plan.
With bones and shield drooling out of him. I don't think I want to do
No, there
that.
really isn't an attack roll for ranged specifically.
So are we just fighting the cube, or are we also fighting the other
that's-
combatants?
What else?
I wasn't sure about that either.
No clear direction was given to you.
Okay.
Basically, what do you think if I just give you like the option to freely dodge?
Yeah.
Meaning attacks against you have disadvantage until the end of your next turn. Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. because giving you the ability to grapple from 80 feet away doesn't seem right, and I don't know how to make that right otherwise.
Yeah, and it's only a 30. And I'm fine
See,
with
he tied a rope to that arrow, and then he flung himself through the air.
Look, you're
Yeah,
literally a
Mike.
survival hunter. Yeah. Kig, do you want to move?
No, I don't see a point. I want to see what happens. I really have no idea what's going on right now. Did the arrow do anything, or did it just kind of sink inside him? Did it actually do damage?
It penetrated the exterior of the jelly and sunk about 4 inches in, so just the last bit of fletching is sticking out, and it's just oozing along. There was no reaction to it at all. A small stream of very clear, viscous, almost like a Caro syrup is just slowly oozing out from the wound, but no discernible damage.
No, I mean, yeah. I was,
Zaz, it is your turn. You watched as Kig the bow took a shot.
Okay, well, hey, nobody's hurt. This is the best time
Toll the
to
bell.
call some lightning. I hope that did what I wanted it to.
I make a dexterity save, which I have to be real, I am not very good at.
You are a gelatinous cube.
Delay.
Is a 3 good?
I think
Wobble
yes.
to the left.
I am the proverbial broadside of the barn. So I take 10 lightning.
So rather than use that, I'm going to use my once a day channel divinity, which I'm going to click as soon as I find it. And that one. So instead of rolling damage, I just use max damage.
So 30. Is that right?
Yeah.
Two exciting things happen. You pray to the god of storms, who apparently grants your prayer. The arena grows dark and dim. Roiling storm clouds appear about 60 feet above the sands. And for a brief moment, this flash of light totally eclipses any other light source you can see, casting shadow everywhere as this bolt arcs from the clouds, striking the gelatinous cube, burning the complete exterior of it. As soon as the lightning fades and the clouds dissipate, it sort of sloughs off this burnt, like, skin, sort of like a snake shedding its skin. And the lightning that you cast upon it still roils around its body, arcing all over its gelatinous frame. And the otherwise sluggish cube now seems to be moving at an incredible pace.
Zaz is going to quickly into Kig and say, I don't know if that was a good thing.
Do?
Supercharged.
Do you want to move, Zaz?
Probably behind Leo.
Just like a quick shuffle back of,
Don't have to be faster than the bear, just faster than my buddy.
So, just confirming, you've made an electrified gelatinous cube now.
He's got haste.
Well, yeah.
Is
Fast
this
one,
that
too.
kind of monster that I keep referencing, where the critical hits are the worst thing? Wow.
Kel, it's your turn. Zaz literally brought a column of lightning down on it, did some noticeable damage, but the lingering spell effect seems to be turbocharging it. What do you want to do?
I kind of want to wait and see what the other combatants are going to do because I'm a little unclear. Can I don't know if I want. I kind of want to
hold their turn.
Yeah, can I hold my turn till one of the other combatants go just to get a sense? Because I don't feel like I need to do anything yet, but I also don't want to just give up my turn either.
So when you ready an action, you have to basically decide what action you will be taking, as well as the circumstances under which you'll take it. So you can say, like, I want to shoot the gelatinous cube after it attacks someone near me, or after it advances to within 30 feet of me, or I want to, trip the other combatant if he gets within 5 feet of me. But you have to set terms, basically.
Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay. So I'm going to ready bestow curse, and I'm going to cast it on who is that stupid fucking elf? The one that's
Prince of Blades?
Yeah, if the Prince of Blades
Yeah.
gets near it, I'm gonna cast bestow curse on him. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna kind of watch and see what's gonna happen.
Okay. The one thing about preparing a spell for your delayed action is that if those conditions are not met, you basically have all but cast the spell. You save everything but the last syllable of the incantation. If your turn comes and goes and those conditions aren't met, that spell slot is still consumed.
Okay.
Is it a cantrip?
No, it's not. It's a 3rd level. I don't want to do that.
It's the only reason I mentioned it.
Then I'm gonna hold Toll the Dead, and for the gelatinous cube, if one of the other combatants actually attacks it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move back here.
All right. The energized cube moves very rapidly to about there.
Did it move out of turn order?
Oh, sorry. It's everybody else that does it on a 10. These guys are going to move in cautiously. You guys watch as the roving barkers in the stands have these trays full of those aforementioned globes of swirling black. You have no idea what they are, but they're offering to sell them to people for 10 gold apiece. Alexis, you watch as one incredibly morbidly obese man buys 3. He puts 2 like just sitting on the bulb that is his belly once he's seated, and he takes the other one and throws it into the arena. It cracks in the sand just between Leo and the Prince of Blades, and rapidly expands in this just bubbling mound of what looks like sticky tar.
Oh dear.
Leo and the Prince of Blades are both stuck in tar. And the crowd starts cheering, "Tar bomb! Tar bomb! Tar bomb!" And Alexis, a small girl, walks past you and drops several coins into that large golden drum over here.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd cheers and goes wild as the man behind it takes kind of like the arm of a clock, right? Like if it was just measuring the top 80 degrees of a compass, and it goes from like 0% to 10%.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. I do nothing.
The Dragonborn advances and breathes a cone of fire on the gelatinous cube. So, Kel, you have a delayed Toll the Dead, I believe, if one of the combatants hit it.
Yes.
Go ahead and do that now.
Well, you need to roll, I think, is it?
Oh, it's for me. It's wisdom, I think.
That is correct.
There you go. Is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Is it missing any of its hit points?
It is.
Okay, cool. And we're 5th level now.
2d12?
Oh, yes. That's like okay.
Yeah, it's almost average. Yeah, the sonorous ring of this ghostly bell tolls through the thing. No one else seems to be bothered by it, but the ooze recoils slightly, like almost like trying to shrink and become more compact than it is, trying to avoid the the painful sound. Alexis, it's your turn. There's a vendor standing next to you who just sold one of those tar bombs. You can use your turn here to try to motivate the crowd. The only thing you were told not to do is to directly interfere in the combat. What do you want to do? You can try to influence the audience's opinion of one fighter or another. You could
How
buy a tar
distracted
bomb.
how distracted is the tar bomb seller?
Pretty. He's watching. It's exciting for him as a vendor to get a 2-for-1 like that, where somebody bought a tar bomb and he managed to trap 2 people with it. They're both feverishly trying to unstick themselves.
What
But
if I
he's having
sleight
a
of hand took one of the tar bombs from his tray?
You could attempt that. Make your sleight of hand check. Yeah, he has no idea.
Okay. I throw my bomb directly on the Prince of Blades.
Damn. Oh man, make a ranged attack roll. If you have like a short bow or anything like that, you can just use that attack roll. That's plenty good to put it where you want. And we'll say right there-ish.
Gotta stick it to him.
Some people start to boo the fact that the Prince of Blades has been targeted by these tar bombs. Jezza, what would you like to do with your turn?
So real quick question: the Berserker gentleman. What's he using?
He's got a double-breasted axe.
Okay, and the arena that we're in, is it open ceiling? Like, is there sunlight coming in from it, or is it just like one is it like one window that's letting light in, or is it an open sky?
Open dome, but it's very, very little light. It's sunset.
Okay.
Also, we're underneath the city, right?
Yeah. You're beneath the floating city of Eros, and it is, but there is no dome. That's what you're asking. No roof.
Okay. I would like to buy one of the tar bombs from the gentleman next to me. But when I buy it, I'd also like to try and roll sleight of hand to try and palm another one as I take one.
Okay. Because he's a boy and you're a girl, and because you're making a purchase, I'll let you do sleight of hand with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to oppose that.
Okay.
Yeah, he catches you by the wrist. Hey now! Only one!
Tango the piece, and what kind of rip is this?
Yeah. With an 11, you are able to talk your way out of like him calling the guards. You can tell he's used to people trying to steal from this situation, and no harm, no foul, but he starts moving away from you.
That's fair. So I'm 10 gold shorter and I'm 1. So I'm going to position myself over here and kind of jeering on the Berserker and I'll be like, it's just a ball of jelly! Get in there and hit the thing! You got an axe, use it!
Nice. Do you think it would be fair to assume that Leo might try to attack this thing? Like, it's hard to evaluate. I probably wouldn't, but if Fubarius didn't know a ton about the game or was committed to role playing Leo, do you think he would just charge in?
I feel like Kel would be like, "Don't."
we're gonna hold back and let all these secondary characters die.
Yeah.
Okay. What's he have for ranged? He must have a javelin or something.
Oh my
I'll
God.
try throwing a javelin. 10 points for the javelin's nothing to sniff at.
I am 100% taking that picture.
You're
Horny
welcome.
for jelly.
I don't know what the... I'm so confused too! Anyways...
That was from my earlier comment.
Okay. Back on track.
Oh, okay.
I did like how you like honing for jelly. Woo!
I mean, I just thought like in general, whatever.
Yeah. I got you.
Lava's very emotive. Do you have a plague doctor for every feeling?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I could probably find them though.
The darkest dungeon.
It is Darkest Dungeon.
The gelatinous cube advances. As it does, it creates two tentacle-like pseudopods. Two sections of the faces of the cube extend as large, almost like well-muscled tentacles that punch and attempt to grab, one at the Dragonborn, one at Kig. This is against Kig, and that's a miss. The Dragonborn is hit. He gets punched just under his jaw, and as his head reels back, the tentacle wraps around him and begins pulling it into the central mass of the cube.
Oh, no.
You can watch as his face and arms start to sizzle and burn as it makes contact with the outer edge of the cube.
Alright. Gathered some research.
Don't hit the thing.
Yeah, don't touch the cube.
The cube eats
Don't
people.
touch.
Kig, it's your turn, round 2.
Time to push people into the gelatinous cube.
Well, I want to push someone out of the tar pit. Can I help Leo out anyway? I don't think I can. I'm so small. Do I have like a rope? Maybe I could pull him out.
I don't know. Do you have a rope? It'd be in your stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking. It
It's
doesn't look
listed
like I do.
under just enough to hang yourself.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, you're right. There
Oh,
it is.
God.
I do have a rope. Is that? Can I use rope to pull Leo out
Sure.
as like an action?
Yeah, I'd be 100% fine with that. Just make a strength check,
Try
as he is a
here first.
heavy, stout dwarf.
Yeah, for sure. But I might as well just try. I want to set that tar on fire if possible. Hey, that'll
Damn,
do.
Kig. Yeah. You lasso Leo, tying just a makeshift noose in it. You get him under one arm and around the shoulder, and you yank him towards you. You're able to reel him in all the way to there.
Now is that my attack out action?
That's your action. Yep. So you
Okay.
have just a bonus left. If there's anything you can do with that.
Not what I meant.
No. I can grovel. No, I end my turn.
Okay. The audience, in response to Kig's apparent heroism, cheers. They're going berserk for him again. You see several people approaching the guys that are selling the tar bombs to lay bets.
Oh.
Zaz.
Well, I can't strike him with lightning now.
I mean, you could.
I miss having a front line. Okay, can I ask briefly, because I swear I feel like I should know this, whether no, we've already asked if it's everybody versus the cube or everybody for themselves. So the way I want to ask this question is, are the 4 of us expected to still be on a team, or is it going to be like last man of the 9 stand?
The general victor is the last man standing in these events. With oftentimes like the guest star, the animal or whatever they're killing, is sometimes secondary to the competition that devolves between 2 combatants. But the last man standing is declared the victor. There are tiers of betting based on how long somebody lasts. But the idea is to have Kig be the last or very close to the last person standing. And as far as PvP, there's nothing like, there was no rule based on your cheating the system about not hurting or interfering with each other.
All right. Well, then, I'm sorry, NPCs. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
The Prince of Blades. I wanted to just make him look like a fool, but he is standing in highly combustible tar, and I am a lightning cleric. So Zaz is like kind of sad that he's about to do this, but he is definitely going to continue to call lightning right on his face.
Do it.
And there
And this
goes
just
the
ring it in.
storm! I'm prepping calling that when it goes off. Am I allowed to prep a scream?
Yeah, I think that's fair. He does not make a saving throw, so he takes 17 points of damage, and the tar ignites.
And then
the
I
same
scream,
storm
there goes the
cloud
storm.
roils crackling lightning. There's a brief clap of thunder, and the Prince of Blades' beautiful, unmarred elven visage is charred as a bolt of lightning hits the left side of his face, down his shoulder, and the sparks jump off of him onto the tar and just light up in flame. You can hear several people gasp. Women begin weeping, men are screaming. But that same groupie lady just starts screaming, "Storm! Storm! Storm!"
No,
And
I
there's a
scream,
bunch of other
storm,
people
storm,
who are
storm!
trying their best to make lightning bolts with their fingers, going zzz, 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 into the sands of the arena. It seems as
Yes, I totally just did that with my hands.
Me too.
I'm doing great with this crowd, man. They're gonna love Zaz.
Zaz, are you comfortable where you are?
God, we need a front line.
It's hard to have a front line against a gelatinous cube because the front line may just get eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, Zaz is going to shuffle away. And maybe in the direction of the groupie.
Nice.
Nice.
Little flex over here. Kel, you react next. The Prince of Blades starts screaming because he's literally burning and can't get out of the fire because of the tar. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna feed into some of the chaos
Laugh.
if I get really lucky. Kel is going to reach into their bag of tricks and throw out a ball somewhere around there. I'm gonna see what we get. A giant badger.
Hell yeah!
It's back!
Oh, you can do it. That's right. I forgot I made the thing.
Yeah.
And it works! Hey, we did it!
My roll 20 is still lagging like a motherfucker, and I don't see the badger. There it is.
You missed it. He did a somersault into the arena and then danced on his hind legs. Aww. But now he's just doing nothing again. Sorry, you missed it.
Damn. Cocky badger.
Yep. Cockiest badger. Badger doesn't know what it's gonna do.
Badger's
Let's see.
gonna badger.
Badger's gonna badger. Badger's gonna burrow into the ground. And that's my turn.
Badger could attack murder.
Badger could attack murder, but Badger is not the best at attacking.
Fair enough.
So Badger's gonna burrow 10 feet underground so that no one sees Badger anymore.
That's a pretty nifty badger.
It is a pretty nifty badger. That's true.
Probably just 5 feet underground and like to the side.
So the two melee guys, the Berserker and Murder, advance towards the cube, and they each grab one of the outstretched Dragonborn's arms and are attempting to pry him out of the cube that has like an almost suction level grip on him. It takes the two of them working in concert, but eventually they manage to pull the Dragonborn out of the cube. His scaly flesh is burnt and mottled where the acidic cube had touched him. That's their turn. The Prince of Blades will attempt to get out of here.
I don't know. I have such admiration for the fact that we're just burning this man alive.
He does escape, backpedaling out. All of the tar has now caught fire, creating a large environmental hazard. He's very critically wounded. He's just recovering against the stone wall of the arena, gathering his breath, and people near him are genuinely looking concerned. And Zez, are you proficient in Arcana?
I don't think
I am.
so. I am not.
I'm trying to decide who would. Well, I guess Kel, make an Arcana check for me.
I'm also not proficient in religion somehow.
You are the worst cleric. The archer in the back, Deadeye, has had an arrow knocked since the fight started, but his bow is now pointing at Zaz, and there's not enough for you to know what he's doing, but you definitely get the impression he's casting a spell or preparing to cast a spell.
Well, that explains some things.
Alexis, it is your turn.
Real quick, if I may. Sorry, 1 sec, Lav. Try meta question.
Go.
In regards to what's going on here, the betting for this event, is this like horse racing where people have like tickets with like money and odds and payouts type thing that they exchange?
That's how I thought.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, that's all I needed to know. You're good.
Okay.
Damn. I don't think I'm gonna get another one.
No. No, his passive is 14. You did not. He catches you. Hey now, girl. One's enough. One's enough.
How'd you know I had one?
Stepping away from you. Maybe he let you take the first one. But he's heading towards the guard. Some people are even trying to buy from him, but he's just pushing past them, heading towards this guard.
Delightful. I head away from the guard.
Seems fair.
You can move further than that.
And
Alexis, as you walked past this marshal, the compass arm is now over 60%, and there's hundreds of gold coins in that urn. And you notice that the lever that is next to this weird coiled copper has a placard on it that says "Zap Zap."
now I want to pull the lever.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Jezza, it's your turn.
Okay.
Why do you have that lever?
How would I go about determining? Like, I guess if I wanted to try and get a look at like how people are, I guess, betting at the moment, what would you say would be the best way to do that? Would be like perception, or just what am
I think perception. If you're just gonna like either read the crowd or look at someone's betting slip, I think perception.
Yeah, kind of reading the crowd to see where people are betting at the moment. All right, perception check. What? 16.
16 is good. Everybody seemed to early off favor the Prince of Blades. There was a lot of distress and frustration when he seemed to be ganged up on by several people, and he was tarred and burned. You see a lot of people like laying new bets now that he's all but out of this contest. And the next fan favorite, the one with the best odds of winning, is Kig. He's a known quantity of fan favorite. He just performed an act of heroism. They love him.
I'm gonna feel like a bastard here. Hold on. 10, 20. I have 40 feet, so that's 25. 15. Step of the Wind gives me dash, which doubles. So there's 40. 40. Yeah, I'm going to spend a key point to use Step of the Wind to make a good distance around the arena with my one bomb. So myself all the way there. And now that I know that, it should be there. Let's see. Can I do this without setting my teammates on fire? I think is the idea. I am going to attempt to hurl my one glass bulb of
tar bomb.
My tar bomb, yes, to about here, so that it creates a tar path, but it doesn't touch the burning tar.
Make your ranged attack roll for me.
I don't have a range. Could I just use my monk unarmed? Would that suffice? Or
yeah, that's dex based, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
I think it's. Is it gonna land on top of the people? Hell yeah, it is.
So I'm going to adjudicate a misplacement, but I need you to roll an 8-sided die. We'll let fate decide how, which direction. So 1 is cardinal north.
So roll 1d8.
Yep.
Oh,
going clockwise around the.
Oh my god!
Ow. Oof.
Do I hit Mumbles?
Gonna leave it right here.
Okay, perfect. It's where I wanted it.
Just north of where you wanted it, but an inaccurate throw. Some of it splatters on the observer platform, and Mumbles chuckles. Zan's like getting him to stand back, realizing that it's also flammable, but he doesn't care. He's got that almost bloodthirst interest in what's going on. There's a small part of him that you can tell wishes he was in the pit.
Yeah. And as the last thing I'd like to do on my turn, I look over at Deadeye and I just scream, "Shoot him!" That's my turn.
Okay. For Leo's turn.
Leo picks up the Prince of Blades and throws.
I was gonna say, I feel like he would either want to incapacitate the Prince of Blades, who is the crowd favorite, or at this point, I think it would be hard. He'd be hard pressed to convince Fubarius not to engage the ooze.
Throw him into the fire.
You wanted to take out the Prince?
Yeah, I think so.
I appreciate that you use the words incapacitate, because I've definitely played with players that would be like, yeah, I smash his skull into the stone wall with my giant hammer. Like, dude.
I was suggesting I'm thrown back into the fire, so I guess I'm just that guy.
In classic Leo fashion, he just says, "Sorry about this, lad," and then crushes his kneecaps with the manville, dropping this poor, burnt, sniveling mass just to the ground, weeping openly. He's not going anywhere. He's out of the fight. There are people who are trying to pull him out of the sands into the arena just to prevent him from being accidentally killed, and no one seems to be stopping that from happening. And once they successfully drag him up into the stands, Mumbles rings the gong with his bare fist again, and 100 people just scream disappointment. You watch as paper is just thrown into the sands of the arena pit. The number 1 or number 2 most likely contender to win has just been ousted. Outed is something else. Oh boy, now the cube. The cube moves up to Zaz. Did I lose you guys in Discord?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Nope.
No, you're good.
Seemingly motivated by something, it didn't even hesitate. It's almost like it was a missile that was being lased. made a beeline right for Zaz and will attempt a pseudopod attack. Where did I can find the damn sheet again? Pseudopod attack!
Oh,
I don't know your AC. Does that hit?
It is 16.
9 points of acid, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's the bad one.
You got it.
Hey!
Yes, hey, you got it.
Whoa.
Not today. The tentacle tries to draw you in, but maybe because of your slight stature, or because the storm god smiles upon you today, you're able to wriggle free of it just before it draws you into the center of its mass. Whew. That's it for me. You also notice that the lightning seems to have faded. It's no longer encircling the cube. It's moving lumberingly slow now.
That's great.
Kig.
I'm still not sure of what we should be doing here. I know I have to win.
do anything to win.
Something. I mean, do I have to win? Can I
Do
make my name look
everything to
bad
win.
and then everyone else put their money in someone else?
Well, we've already established that you're winning, so. My bad. My fault.
You got this.
Okay, so we're just taking people out then? Is that what we're doing now?
I mean, there is still a giant jelly cube, but also, yeah,
I'm just kind of
probably.
useless against the jelly cube.
I mean, you could throw people into the fire.
I can't.
Sure you can. You're Kig the Sword.
Yeah, not kick the strong arm.
You just strong-armed Leo.
With a rope.
Like you don't
And
have a clear sense of identity.
My little claws in the sand.
I was sold on Kig the Sword up until he started playing. Now he just kicked the dagger to me.
Yeah, it turns out when your scoot's against the wall, you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah. See? The roll of the dice. Gonna meander over here and take a slice. Is this like, is it daytime? Are we affected by that right now?
No.
Sunset.
Yeah, specifically made it sunset so that you guys weren't disadvantaged. Didn't seem fair.
Good luck, buddy. Oh, okay, no. Cling.
You run up behind and attempt to just hamstring Deadeye, who's arching maybe the cube, maybe Zaz. But as you attempt to rake him in the back, you fail. His armor is pretty good, and it's just kind of a glancing blow. Rather than getting penetration, you just scratch against it, creating a little bit of a grindy sound and some sparks. And there's a few boos that begin to rise up from the crowd. They were expecting you to comport yourself with more honor. JK, lol. Zaz, it's your turn. The ever-hungering gelatinous cube is slowly starting to move towards you again for another engulfing attack. What do you want to do?
All right. So Zaz is not the hero of the arena so much as he's afraid of being eaten by a cube. So I think the plan is Zaz is going to take a few, we'll say, calculated steps backwards to here-ish, and is going to cast a Sleet Storm.
Are you aware that provokes an attack of opportunity?
Sure am.
And you're okay with that?
Heck yeah.
I miss anyway. That's a good thing.
Uh,
Sleet Storm.
The goal is that I would want to put a giant sleet storm like here-ish to just engulf most of the arena in obscuring ice. That also knocks people down and makes it difficult terrain and stuff.
I don't
what
think you
about-
can knock a gelatinous cube prone.
Yes, but it's also difficult terrain, and it's difficult to see and stuff, and so I'm hopeful that he will just like not know what to do and
I
freeze.
feel like we're gonna have an opposite effect, but I like it. Let's do it.
Where do you want
Yeah.
it?
And grow huge from being frozen or something.
So it's 40-foot radius.
Whoa.
40-foot
It's
radius?
huge.
Yeah.
Holy-
It's 20 feet tall, 40 feet radius.
And that's impossibly big. That's this big.
Yes, it is. So that's why I ran against the wall, because like, hey, we're gonna need some space.
Delightful. Just don't hit the badger with it.
The badger's underground.
Yeah,
the badger will be fine.
That's pretty much right.
Well,
Oh,
Fuck
maybe
those
we can
guys,
chip 'em
right?
apart. Well, yeah, fuck them.
I know, but fuck those guys, right?
So what does it do? Does it do damage or is it just difficult?
It doesn't. That's the worst part. It doesn't do damage. But it does heavily obscure the area, so you can't see through it. It douses flames. It makes the ground difficult terrain, and any creature that starts their turn or enters it makes dex save or falls prone.
How does a gelatinous cube fall prone?
We're about to
It-
find out.
It can't. It literally is immune to the condition prone.
yeah, that isn't going to work.
Right. I was really relying on the difficult terrain and obscuring
Yeah.
parts.
The difficult terrain is great.
Messing with you.
Having a speed of 15 is not great news for the cube.
Out of nowhere. Yes, the cube falls prone onto its other side. It continues on as if nothing
Wait,
happened.
Oh my god, it's still a cube!
I rolled a
That's
6, I
wonderful.
guess.
All right.
Yeah, it's a
Kel,
six-sided die.
Massive sleet storm just begins falling down in the left half of the arena. Several of the fighters are almost impossible to see through the sleet. You can barely make out the large broadside of a barn that is the gelatinous cube. Everything seems to be slowing down inside the cold of the sleet storm. What do you want to do?
Well, that totally fucks with anything I was going to do.
Storm. Says the
I mean, sorry for ruining other plans, but also I really was hoping I could.
Oh
freeze
yeah,
the
that was
cube.
real cool. I'm not mad at all.
And this is like Zaz's brain of, oh, wait, maybe I could freeze it because lightning didn't work.
One question. If something has a burrow speed, can it use a dash to just burrow twice?
I don't see why not.
Okay. And I'm going to fire Ray of Sickness at this asshole.
Okay.
That fucking guy.
Hey, Deadeye, I've named you Disasshole.
You're about
badger.
to be dead or I.
I don't see a badger. Oh god! That is a hit.
Come on. Why is this so slow?
He's doing the best he can.
No, I'm talking about roll 20.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Try not use Internet Explorer.
Is now poisoned.
I have not tried it on Edge, no.
Yeah, it doesn't. Roll20 does not work well in Chrome. If that was the discussion. Your Ray of Sickness hits him right in his stomach. You watch him sort of double over in pain, and he just starts vomiting, like profuse, disgusting vomiting all over the sands. And go ahead and make your badger attack.
Well, badger dash, so it doesn't have an extra action.
Oh, I see. You're right.
He's still underground though. That's all for me.
I need 3 dexterity saving throws from the dudes in the thing. The murder manages to make it out just to the outer perimeter edge of the sleet storm. The other two are hopelessly stuck in there, slipping all over the frozen slick ground, tumbling on top of each other. It looks comical. The silhouettes of them in the storm cause people in the arena to laugh at them. Alexis, you noticed that the jar here, the urn, is now 80% full, and he's moved the protractor arm in accordance. It's very nearly about to, whatever's about to happen is about to happen.
Yep.
And
Hold on a second.
you hold on a second.
I had a knock on the door. Hello. All right, what am I doing? I'm sorry.
Kig, the archer, lashes out at you with a small dagger. Does a 17 hit you? I think it does.
It does, yeah.
He does. Six points of piercing damage as he sticks you with it.
Owie. My scoots.
And someone from the dark side of the arena.
Doesn't he have disadvantage because he's poisoned?
Oh, you're right. Let me roll another attack roll.
Just got to keep you honest.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
No,
shit.
no. We'll take the 6. No, you'll take the 22.
Well, I mean, the 22 was the hit.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the we'll just say the attack stands.
Right.
But yeah, he does have disadvantage. And another tar bomb is thrown. There.
Oh, shit.
Kig, you can attempt to get out of it on your turn.
Yeah.
Actually, that doesn't seem fair, like fair action economy. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw now.
Well, I have cunning actions still. Do it.
So cunning. With a 17, you're gonna jump out just before it explodes. You're outside of the perimeter of the expanding tar bomb. You are not captured in it, and the crowd goes bananas wild that they think you orchestrated that tar bomb to be thrown and dodged out just in time to trap only Deadeye.
That is what I did. Exactly.
That's the narrative they're going with.
Yeah, and I avoided having to get a pedicure too.
Alexis, it's your turn.
I walk up to this thing and I ask, "Hey, what does this thing do?"
Dude.
He says, "Step back, girl. It is not time for zap zap."
I pull the lever.
Oh boy.
Why?
You gone done and did it.
Okay. You switch the lever on. This coil in front of you here begins to rapidly cycle and charge. There's this sort of thrum, a buildup of energy that just discharges in a brilliant flash of blue-white lightning that arcs between the zap zap machine and the cube.
Oh no! That wasn't.
Why did you do that?
I wanted to see what happened.
Zaz already found out.
And then the guard.
I hope he throws you in the arena.
Oh, the guard shield bashes you.
Damn it, Lab.
Oh, delightful.
Oh, jeez.
He hits you for 9 points, and I need you to
Okay.
make a strength check.
A strength check. Okay. Saving throw, right? Or a check?
Sorry, saving throw. You were correct. Nice.
That's a
The
-1.
strike was forceful, almost knocking you to your feet, but you regain your composure, having just take 9 damage of shield to the face, and he starts to draw his weapon. Very sharp, highly polished short sword.
I see.
It's probably safer in here with us.
Probably.
Here, come hop the wall.
Well, I'm not supposed to directly. Oh wait, I might have already done that. Whoops.
Whoopsie. Jezza, what would you like to do?
I would once again like to take a perception roll of how it seems the crowd is leaning, because that's what we're. Pardon?
Make a perception roll.
Yeah.
There is an extremely vocal majority that seems to be heavily favoring Kig. He is easily the odds-on favorite to win at this point.
And that's not good for us because we need money.
I was gonna say it means that the odds are not in favor of a huge payout. It seems to most people that his victory is almost a certainty at this point. The other thing you observe is that in this corner of the room, over by where Mumbles is, that woman has created a contingent of people who are cheering for Zaz the Storm. He's got this little cohort of fans that are growing, some very impressed by the strength and just size of this sleet storm that he conjured, and there are people rallying behind him. There's an old blacksmith man who's like dangling over the railing at his waist while his children hold his legs, trying to get Zaz to look at him, and he's telling everybody a story about how this man healed his child once when he was trampled by a horse on the road. Zaz is the hero. Zaz should be the winner.
So, question: are the winnings paid out depending on the individual or depending on the team? Air quotes team.
Individual.
Individual. And it's leaning toward Kig, huh?
How long did that sleet storm last?
Concentration. So considering I'm about to run away, probably the beginning of my turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You can move while concentrating.
You
It's
can move
fine.
while concentrating. You just can't use another spell.
Well, you can't use another spell with concentration.
Correct.
All right, I would like to move over here. Here's a real meta question for you. If you don't have an answer for me, that's fine. Just, are there any particular individuals of note other than this vendor where I'm currently standing over here?
You notice the bartender from the Toad and Foal earlier in the day, the person that you guys met with just before you were introduced to Jet, is here.
Okay.
Other than that, it's the sea of strange faces.
Okay. Deadeye is a human, correct? Not an
He is.
elf? Okay.
There's an argument can be made for some kind of half-elven parentage. You can't know for sure, but he looks very human.
Okay. I would like to create a bit of a scene.
Are you going to throw the vendor in?
I would like to make an elaborate ruse to attempt to get at least one more tar bomb, if you think. Or I could probably just try and steal it, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, so tell me what kind of scene you want to make.
All right, so if this is okay, may I play it out?
Yeah, please.
All right. So the vendor is on my right. He's just trying to hawk his wares. He's not even. I'm insignificant. I don't exist. He doesn't even know I'm here. On my back is a rather larger gentleman. Not the bartender, but another larger gentleman. And with a quick step to my right, I fake a fall into the back of the bartender. I turn around. He sees me. I immediately scream, "Keep your hands off me, you fat pig!" Grab a tar bomb out of the vendor's thing and blast him in the face with it while attempting to palm another one with my other hand.
Okay. Let's.
That's not even
try to
sleight of hand.
adjudicate this as best we can. If you want, I think the advantage from the distraction is going to be mitigated by you not wanting to wear tar bomb. If you're okay wearing tar bomb, then I'll let you attempt a sleight of hand check with advantage for the distraction. However, if you also want to focus on making your own dexterity saving throw to not be caught in the tar bomb, then you'll make a straight up sleight of hand.
I will do the straight up sleight of hand.
Okay.
I'm the innocent woman here.
21 is good. Yep. And then give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Perfect. Wasted crit. Sorry, bud.
Yep.
You effortlessly vault backwards, highlighting your monk training. He's covered head to toe in tar, as are like the 6 people adjacent to him, and they all start a fight with him because they blame him for the situation. the vendor helps you up, and as he does that, you're able to take one. But as he's helping you to your feet, a second tar bomb just happens to roll off of his cart and, let's say, safely into the palms of your hands.
So I have 2 now instead of just 1. All right. Would you say that was my turn?
That was your action, and you use some of your move to get there, but you still have your bonus and a move.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't use my bonus as a reaction command, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Then I'm just going to use my bonus to shift over here. That would be appropriate right about there, just to move myself out of the explosion of tar that has occurred in the stands.
Ew, excuse me, it's sticky back there.
Yeah, and I'd like to start screaming obscenities at Deadeye, if that's allowed. If not, that counts.
Oh,
if
yeah,
that would
for
count
sure.
as an action.
No.
Yeah.
Free stuff.
Yeah. But that's my turn.
From this vantage, you also see your pal Alexis get punched in the face, backhanded by that guard with the shield, almost knocking her to the flat of her back. And you watch the zap machine discharge a bolt of lightning to the cube.
I kind of shrug, like I'm curious. It's like she probably did something to deserve that, but
all right, Leo, ladies. I have no idea what to do at this point, except to go beat up on this dude. You guys tell me, is this rage worthy?
considering he was attacking a small friend, then probably yes.
Oh yes, definitely rage worthy.
We are the band of Smalls. Remembering that the half-elf is the tallest member among us.
No, I thought I'm the tallest member.
Oh,
Right,
no.
you are. You are. Yeah.
Are you? How tall are you?
Oh, that's not good.
Like 5'4". I don't remember. The tallest
5'8".
person is not 5'8".
No,
The
we're
tallest
tied.
person.
We're both 5'8".
Nice.
All right.
The 2 spellcasters are the tallest. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Zaz.
40 on the fumble table says, "Oh, you miss an attack and gaze upon the chaos of the battle, causing your confidence to falter. I have disadvantage on my next attack roll against any target." Oof. So
Oof.
that'll happen right now because he has 2 attacks. Disadvantage. 16 still hits though, so na boo boo. Aw. That's pittance. 7 points of damage. And it is now time for Das Kub.
Das Kub?
The frozen fried.
Yeah, it would have been hindered significantly, save not for it being under the effects of haste after being electrocuted.
Twice.
Oops.
It makes
Oh gosh.
2 pseudopod attacks
At who?
at Zaz.
Huh, I wonder.
I can't see. The game doesn't respond.
Ooh.
Hit and a miss. 11 points of acid, and I will need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy. I'm not going to be able to keep these up.
My defense.
I've got a pill for that.
What?
Damn, dude.
Hey man, sometimes it happens. You are slippery kobold.
Yep. Like a boxer you just managed to slip that glancing blow again. It turned your chin, but you used the momentum and just let it spin your body instead of knocking you out. You slip its grip, it fails to devour you a second time, and the crowd is on its feet in your corner, cheering for the storm.
In my defense, I am bolstering her case.
Oh man. We'll get to that later. As a parting blow, I want to leave it with a Wrath of the Storm. Because it's already electrocuted at this point.
Maybe further electrocution is not a good idea.
I mean, I want to see what happens if we keep electrocuting it.
It
It
says
made it-
lightning or thunder damage, so if you don't want it to be lightning.
Yeah, let's make it thunder damage, sure.
Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
Sonic boom.
Do you want to roll the damage, or shall I?
I will. Hold on.
10 points. The boom of thunder fills the arena, echoes through the seats. Some people nearest the cube and Zaz have to cover their ears because the cacophony is so loud. But it literally shakes and cracks parts of the cube's outer structure that were burned by the lightning and starts sloughing off another sort of outer layer of jelly skin again. Kig, round 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I have to roll concentration.
Oh yeah, 10 or half the damage that you took. So I think is lower. So I think you're rolling for a concentration of 6.
It's just a constitution check?
Yep. Easy peasy.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, Kig. What do you want to do?
Can I just run into the storm and like disappear?
I suppose you can.
I mean,
Kig,
I
do something
I want to try and
cool.
change the tide of which, like, everyone's starting to go for Saz. Maybe I could get lost until the end and then come out on top. Maybe I could just dig into the badger's
Pretty sure
burrow.
you're not the one that's supposed to come out on top.
What?
No, he's supposed to win.
Ah,
It's just that nobody's supposed to expect
Exactly.
him to win.
Right.
So you guys are supposed to turn the crowd over to someone else, and then I come in with the unexpected win at the end.
That's what I meant.
Make Mumbles a bunch of money. But I can't keep showing off my prowess.
Like,
Right,
guys,
because
I'm too
Mumbles
good.
Yeah.
Mumbles is betting on Kig, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I gotta let myself get hit or something. I think I just disappeared to the sleet storm. Kid just dodges. Can I do that?
You can just take dodge, yeah.
Yeah. No one even sees it. I just
Yeah, you dash into the sleet storm. People are confused, and then your silhouette even disappears. There's like 1 or 2 gasps, and then nothing. Zaz, it's your turn. You just watch Kig kamikaze into the center of your sleet storm.
Forgive me if in the moment that doesn't seem particularly helpful.
Wait, did Kig fall prone or not?
Dexterity save, Kig. I assume he's gonna make it.
Oh god.
Oh.
He did not make it.
Oh, nice. So yeah, you also go ass over tea kettle as you run into the sleet storm, making a cartoon
don't-
slipping sound as you go scoots first, spinning out like a turtle on his back. Awesome.
I would like to state again for the record, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting the current situation. So I do apologize to Zaz, Middle River.
It made it fun. For me.
Okay. Shoot. Well, I have to do something. I can't keep running away. This is all bad. Everything's bad. So I'm going to. Yeah, everything's pretty bad. I'm going to stand my ground, and Zaz is going to dispel the sleet storm to cast a different spell,
Okay.
and is going to cast that gust of wind again. And I don't. Let's see how I'm planning on drawing this map.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Oh yeah, that happens.
I block your gust of wind with my armor of mage.
This is the line: is he would like to get the cube and the murderer, and if he also gets Kig, honestly, that kind of helps the plan.
I'm like, quote unquote, knocked out.
You are on your butt, yes.
And that's concentration up to 10 rounds, right? Yeah. Cool. Do you want to move, or are you gonna take your lumps?
Do you get an attack of opportunity if you push something away from you like that?
The push doesn't happen until the beginning of the cube's turn. But no, force movement does never provoke an attack.
Zaz is gonna hold the line and hope for the best.
Okay. Kel.
I have a terrible idea, and I'm gonna try some science.
I just want to examine our situation based on what's happened that you think you have a terrible idea. Based on how this has gone so far.
I mean,
Are you thinking of hitting the lever too?
No. I want to see if too much of a good thing is bad, and I'm going to also hit it with a witch's bolt to see if adding lightning damage does more interesting things to the cube.
Oh no.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh jeez.
Oh, you know, something terrible.
That does hit.
And I was planning to cast it level 2.
Oh jeez.
21 lightning.
Yep.
I mean, if the thing takes lightning damage, it's taken a lot of
It has
lightning
indeed
damage.
taken a ton of lightning damage. And just as before, it's hard to tell with the witch bolt because that stays sort of wreathed and tethered. But its body is just coursing with this sort of static charge that seems to make it faster. But like before, its outer skin keeps charring and it keeps having to slough off. Each time it does, it seems to be diminishing in size slightly.
I'm sorry, Zaz.
And then I run over here to hide my shame.
Yep.
All right. On a
and I'm gonna have the badger pop up and claw and bite.
The archer.
Yeah, that foal.
Ooh.
Do I get to roll crit?
Yeah. One is you are able to maneuver towards your opponent while attacking and attempt to harass them. After your attack, you can choose to attempt to grapple your opponent if you have a free hand, or attempt to shove your opponent if both hands are in use.
Oh my gosh. You could just shove him and he'd be on his back in this
Oh,
door.
I'm going to shove him.
Let's do that.
Do I need to roll anything?
He's like
No,
super prone.
Badgers. We don't need no stinking badgers.
And since he's prone, the badger just burrows back under the ground again.
My God.
So let's roll damage on the attack, and then you should roll a second attack roll for the claws because he'll have advantage because he's prone.
Ah.
There's a chance for a second crit in there.
No.
Okay.
Does the claws hit?
It does. 18 damage, and the badger has killed him. Took him to exactly 0 hit points. The badger got him down on the ground and literally tore his throat out. There's arterial spray arcing over Leo's shoulder into the sand.
Oh no!
And people are aghast.
Is he dead?
He's dying. He's at 0 hit points.
Oh, never mind. I don't care yet.
That's awesome. I'll see you in 2 rounds. Okay. On initiative 10, these guys finally free of the sleet storm. Stand up.
And go after the cube, yes?
These two were on a mission, yeah. This guy, not understanding, charges at Kig, screaming something about why you trap me in snow.
Hold on. At least Murderface started his turn in my gust of wind.
I think everything did.
Oh, you're right. Everybody did. I didn't have a spell effect up, and I was worried I was going to forget, and I was worried about that.
I feel that, yeah.
Yes, strength, right, is the...
Yep, strength saving throw.
Murderface isn't knocked back.
I was pretty confident in him.
But I only get to move 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. I can still get to Kig. This guy...
Oh, butts.
15?
Yep.
And 4.
All right, that's not
The
enough.
Berserker is pushed back by the gust of wind, and this guy moves towards the cube, but does so very slowly, like a mime walking against wind. Murderface tries to savage Kig for trapping him in the ice storm.
Look.
No, erroneously. 21?
Uh-huh. If I said no, would you believe me?
I would not. For 15 points of damage.
Wow. Okay.
You try and trick, you not smarter than Blade.
I don't need to be smarter.
Zaz, if you can hold on for one more turn, I got you.
I'm sure gonna try.
Also, yet another tar bomb is thrown.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh. The badger's burrowing hole.
Leo will need to make a save. Where is his sheet? Holy sheet. Wow. His bonus is 0.
Nice.
Good job, Leo. Surprisingly springy. Do you want to save for the badger?
The badger's burrowed.
Oh, nice. Under the sea. And Alexis, the guard, continues to press his attack against you. He will make... Actually, he's going to shield bash you again. He's not trying to kill you, but needs to make sure you understand.
Uh-huh.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
10 damage, and I need a strength saving throw. You are knocked prone, and as you're bleeding from a gushing head wound, he stands over you and says, "You not touch Zap Zap. Stay down."
I see.
Alexis, it's your turn.
Can I cast from being on the ground?
You can, if it's a... No, I would say the lip is fine. I was going to say there might be a line of sight issue, but nah, you're good. What do you want to cast?
What if I threw infestation in his face and tried to get him to fall off the cliff?
I don't remember infestation.
Can
you link it, or should I look it up?
It does that.
Cause a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites. Gross.
Nice.
Because he's standing right next to the wall.
Yeah. That's your cast. I will make a Constitution saving throw. Eight, which is not good enough, so I got to roll a 6. Is that right?
A D4, I think. Determine which direction he runs away in.
1. I go north.
Fuck.
I like that though.
That's a pretty fun spell, yeah. I like that spell.
Yes.
Do you want to move now that he's got fleas biting his face, which is just rude?
Yeah, walk over here.
Pull the lever.
Pull the lever.
I'm pulling it again.
Oh.
It's just like so to act that out. I'm just like, yes. I wipe blood off my face, and I'm just like, "How about this?" And I pull it out of my sleeve and just go like, "Ha!"
Pocket mites. Cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, Cole wanted pocket bees. This is the closest we've gotten.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Jezza, a bloodied Alexis runs up to you, grinning and pointing over her shoulder at a man who's just clawing at a swarm of fleas and mites eating his face.
I did things. Woo!
I sometimes don't know why I still associate with you. What did you do?
I pulled a lever.
Wrong
Oh,
lever.
that was you. Okay, well, hold on. Don't go further. Don't go over to the left. There's tar there. Hold on. I gotta line this up. I'm gonna throw one of my 2 bombs. I'm gonna throw the tar bomb at the cube.
Okay.
Question though. Try. This is more of a meta question. So that tar bomb that Leo dodged out of, is that on fire?
Yeah, the fire will spread for sure.
Okay.
Which means Deadeye is eventually going to be dying and on fire.
I think he's already on fire because those all line up on top of each other.
Yep.
Yep. He's dead.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to attempt to tar bomb. Well, actually, how far can I?
Say, from this distance, that's going to be a roll with disadvantage.
That's 60 feet. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna carefully maneuver past the tar problem I made and move to there. Where did that go?
I'm just disappointed you didn't roll a 4. Try.
That would have been pretty funny. Whoop whoop whoop! Ah!
Is that still disadvantage or?
It is, yeah. Anything over 30 is disadvantage for a thrown thing.
Okay. All right. Well, monk training coming in clutch. Tar bomb going long.
And it works. Like get a nice tight spiral.
A solid right slice.
Do you want it over the entire thing, or where I have it now?
Yeah,
just
like
so that
the ball like hits the top of it and like shatters on impact and just completely
Nice.
covers it.
it's dripping with tar, which for some reason doesn't seem to really want to stick easily to the ooze, but as it starts to burn, it creates this acrid smell, weird dark fumes, and that seems to really adhere it. It's like it's working literally like an adhesive, unless like sticky tar.
I look out. I kind of like wave at Zaz and I go, "You're welcome."
No, is very sticky.
Alexis and Jezza, do you guys want to do anything to manipulate crowd opinion, since you still kind of have sway with the crowd and your ability to manipulate them?
Yeah. I'm gonna start yelling at Kig. Basically, like, I'm just gonna start being mean to Kig. No offense to basics. I'm just gonna start being mean to Kig.
I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna use prestidigitation, have it or something along those lines to start booming Zaz the Storm again.
Nice. The combination of insults being slung at Kig and a booming voice from the other side of the arena calling for Zaz the Storm, using your mouth instrument to mimic the sounds of rolling thunder. People start cheering. They're very excited for Zaz. Everybody's doing like the outstretched crooked fingers for lightning. Zzz, 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 zzz. And a few people are starting to boo Kig.
It's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
This is a good thing.
I will use all of my considerable movement as Leo to trying to grab the fire and to get to here. And then Das Cube starts its turn. I have to make a strength check. I don't think a 5's going to do it.
Nope, 5 does not do it.
I move 2 squares.
15 feet.
I can still move. That kind of sucks because you knocked me out of the tar.
Well, if the tar is like melted onto it, wouldn't it follow it around?
I think if you were, Zaz, I'll let you pick. The wind gust is strong enough to move him. If you do move him, though, it's going to basically just rip whatever caustic solution the tar has become out of the sand, because the sand isn't really like a super strong substrate for adhesion. It'll just rip it clean off and move him and the little tar plate he's standing on away from you. Or I'll let you choose instead to like nudge the wind a little bit so he'll stay affixed to his little sludgy plate, but still be right where he is. You decide which is more preferable.
Perhaps as some sort of compromise, because I only kind of understood the physics of the second one. If I were to nudge it in this direction, could I get him stuck to pointer this time? This thing.
I'm okay with that. You should know that he's got a reach of 10 feet, so from here he can still attack you.
Yep, but I don't got a lot of options.
I know. I feel bad because you're having to do the lion's share of getting punched in the face by the gelatinous cube.
That is true, and the group will have a conversation about that.
All right, he's still hasted, so I get 2 pseudopod attacks.
He's still hasted.
Hit and a miss. 10 points of acid, and with the last attack, the energy discharges from his form, and he just is a normal gelatinous cube now.
All right, well, I know what to do this time.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Yep. Hey, and you did it again. At least you haven't been engulfed.
Okay. That's true. And I'm going to use my last Wrath of the Storm for more thunder damage.
Don't go ahead and just roll it. I can't. Really starting to show signs of being beat. It can't keep its form together. It's becoming more like an amorphous ellipsoidal shape rather than a perfect cube, and parts of it are just kind of sloughing off and staying, not animated.
Yeah, I feel that.
Same. Oh, you guys can't see this. How about now? Can you see his hit bar now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
You mean the one that's like still 80% full?
Jesus Christ.
It had a considerable absorb shield. Kig.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, as Saz makes progress on the cube, I'm gonna go and just attack this guy in front of me. What's orcs again?
Murder.
Yeah. I want to just get him back.
William Murderface.
Yes. Since I have Leo next to me, I have advantage on this attack.
Teamwork.
Yay. I just assumed that was a hit.
Mm-hmm. 17 is good.
About a little bit over what he.
Yeah, it's a nice tag back, yeah. You hit me, I hit you harder. Want to go again? Do you want to move? Or is it Zaz's turn?
No, I like it here. It's I like Leo.
Zaz, did you save? Did you make your concentration against the damage?
Concentration on what? The wind?
Yeah. All right. Zaz, big turn. I mean, you've actually played this to the hilt. It's been very well done.
Hey, I'm doing everything in my power. You know what? I'm going to both literally and digitally and metaphorically. That's 3 and a both. I'm proud of that. Roll the dice on this one. And I'm going to sustain my gust of wind, but I'm going to change the direction or effectively keep the direction to try and blow this cube into this tar pit.
Okay.
There's a lot of ways this could go wrong, but
That'd be fine.
I can't retreat or I'll get slapped. I can't fight or I can't cast a new spell or I'll get slapped, and I can't hit it with my warhammer or I'll get laughed at.
Yeah, I'm so glad you took Gust of Wind. I'm in the other game that I DM. I have a hard time explaining to people how valuable it can be. This is like a highlight reel of maximizing the usefulness of Gust of Wind.
I like utility type spells.
Mm-hmm. All right then, Kel, it's your turn.
Let's light this motherfucker up. Kel would like to snap their fingers as they use their action to call another witch's bolt down on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully lighting it on fire since it is covered in this caustic weird solution.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, that's what points of lightning damage.
Can't grab it anymore. You know what we're gonna do is just it's on fire. You guys get that, right?
Yeah.
I used to use the icons that you could set on tokens,
Mhm.
and it would just be like, this cat paw means that you are falling in a pit, because that's what I got.
I think there's a token for fire, sort of, too.
I don't see like an actually fire-looking one. I like this one though. Like
The half phase is kind of like
that
fire. Yeah, it works.
It looks like back injury or my back is on fire.
That fire symbol looks a lot like another, like something else.
Was that your turn?
Yeah, that is.
Okay. Lexus.
Oh boy.
I hear you, girl. What you gonna do?
I don't know. I've clearly done nothing useful this entire match.
Test.
Testing?
Hey.
Loud and
Okay.
clear. Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you swayed public opinion and you figured out what the Zap Zap does.
Thanks. I walk up and I'm like, "Do you got any more of those bombs?"
He shows you that he's still got half of his wear.
Can I have one?
Can I have 10 gold?
Can I wager it down to 5?
What will you give me to cover the difference? He's eyeing you up and down.
Whoa.
I'll not throw these mites at you.
See that guy over there? You can attempt to make a persuasion check to haggle with him. Or are you just straight up infesting him?
No, I'm infesting him right now. No. This is a persuasion check.
Oh yeah. I'll let you decide how you persuade him. But he is agreeable to your suggestion and is willing to give you the tar bomb for 5 gold.
Yep. So what I do is like, so you see, and then I start stroking his arm, and then I like pop out like a cockroach. I'm like, this could have been on your face.
Nice.
And then I grab it, and then I give him 5 gold.
Little kiss curse.
And then I walk over here, and I throw the tar bomb. Right. There.
Okay, make your ranged attack at disadvantage.
Okie dokie. Damn. Doesn't go very far.
So do you have Mage Hand?
I do
No.
not.
All right. Yes, it does not go far.
So does that mean okay, I can persuade you to have it land here instead?
I will let you. We're gonna put it right here, and then roll an 8-sided die, and I'll move it 2 squares in the
Okay.
direction of the 8-sided die. 8 being cardinal north. You got the Dragonborn.
That's my limp arm.
Good toss.
Yeah. Jezza?
I don't really know where to go from here. Like, I'm kind of wondering at what point it's like, all right, bets are closed type thing, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But
They will stop taking money when it's down to the final 3. Otherwise, they will honor all bets until that point.
we need Kig to get the killing blow on the cube.
How do we know the cube is the killing blow?
Yeah, I mean fair, but I don't know.
I would appreciate anybody getting the killing blow on the cube, please.
Before he
Yeah.
gets the killing blow on you.
That's true.
Why aren't you running away?
Because I've run out of blasty charges
points?
for when I get attacks of opportunity.
He's run out of run.
Also, people keep hasting it.
I'm sorry. I didn't actually actively think it was gonna haste again.
Oh no! At this point, I'm kind of over the lever. Now I'm on the witch bolt hasting it.
You know what? It's on fire now. Count your blessings.
Oh, good. Now there's a flaming gelatinous cube in my face.
So when it does grapple you, you'll take both acid and fire damage.
Yeah. You'll
I'm
deserve
probably-
while on fire. Dissolve, sorry.
Jezza, it's your action.
Yeah, there's not much.
Why don't you make a perception for me?
Yeah, sure. Where did my character sheet go? There it goes. That screen. Perception. That is me for one, but that's also with disadvantage.
Yeah. You see that the coffers of the Zap Zap urn are almost full again,
Oh god.
and the ranger in the flames is about to die. He's been below 0 hit points in the flame for his second turn. Next turn, he will be a fatality.
Huh. Well, I can't do anything to save him short of throwing more tar on him.
I'm gonna try to put it out with gas.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as I run past, Alexis will be like, hold on, I gotta stop something. I'm gonna move back over here, and I am going to attempt to tar bomb the Zap Zap.
Interesting. Okay. You're close enough. I'll let you just do it.
Alright. That is a unarmed throw.
Yeah.
God.
Plenty good. Bloop! And explodes. Sort of expanding like this weird adhesive grenade, coating everything in the black sticky substance.
Including the might covered carved guard.
He's just outside of the area.
Damn.
Does the swarm persist through
No.
concentration, or is that one turn? Okay.
No, it's one certain thing.
All right. That was a good idea, Jezza.
And then I'm gonna try and slink into the crowd behind the gentleman, make sure no one saw that I just interfered with that, but
What? Who did that? Amazing.
yeah. That was my turn.
Do you want Leo to punch the cube or punch murder?
Touch murder.
Yo, smash. Go. I'll call it reckless. 2 hits. I have rendered murder unconscious.
Yeah, wow.
Boom, boom.
It is the cube's turn. I need to make a strength check.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, at least it wasn't a critical hit against you.
Does it take damage because it's on fire?
It does take a d6 of fire. And then it makes its 2 pseudopod attacks against Zaz, as it is still hastened after the witch bolt. Pseudopoded. A critical miss and then a hit, but let's see what the critical miss does. 40. I had disadvantage on my next attack roll against any target. So let's see a third roll for that pseudopod. And I think you survive.
That does miss.
A critical miss parlayed into a disadvantaged double attack. Oh.
There's like
your
2
god
giant
smiles upon you.
cracks in the wall while Zaz is hiding behind his poor little shield.
Mm-hmm. It goes to engulf you, and there's like just a rolling thunder that seems to shift the entire stadium just enough that it misses you. You smile, wondering if someone didn't intervene. It is Kig's turn. Oh, sorry. This ranger is dead.
Do your thing, Kel.
It's gonna make a lot of people really mad. Wait, put that body back.
Is what? Am I assuming it's time for a zombie?
I'm still debating whether I want to do that or not.
Okay.
He can bring murder back and have it throw himself into the gelatinous cube. Wait, he's not dead yet. That's right.
Kig, are you any closer to a decision?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just get her done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go full force on the cube. Mess away. Would Zaz be considered in like sneak attack range or pack?
I think you have to have an ally adjacent, and you do not. The creature's
have to be
increased
within
threatened
5 feet.
radius. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, yep, you're totally all right. Normal then. Oh, geez.
It's a hit.
Oh, cool.
It's a giant cube.
Sweet.
6
Well.
points.
I should have not. Yeah, just 6. Sorry, take that sneak off. Forgot to uncheck it. My bad.
That's fine.
Sorry, Zaz. I didn't really do much there.
Okay, well, the gust of wind plan doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah, and Zaz, it's your turn.
Okay. I haven't used this tool yet. It's probably not going to go super well for keeping the crowd in my favor. God, I hope I still have this one groupie, but I'm going to use for my action grovel, cower, and beg. And I'm just, in the face of this non-sentient gel, I'm just going to like do my best to duck under my shield and make it look like there's no organic matter there, I guess,
Okay.
to make that work.
I like that.
So now until the end of my next turn, all of my allies within 10. What is it?
10 feet.
10 feet.
Gain advantage on this.
So no
cube.
one.
Kig.
No, so
yeah.
it's all of my allies on targets that are within 10 feet of me.
Right.
Enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the cube is distracted. Yeah.
Yeah. So now everybody has advantage.
How is the cube distracted?
He
the
did
cube
peekaboo.
is distracted.
The cube doesn't possess object permanence, so when Zaz hid behind his shield, it's trying to figure out how it disappeared.
I like it.
All right, Kel, it's your turn.
And I started blast.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to raise dead in front of a lot of people. That's a lot of performance anxiety.
Get it up! I can't with everyone watching.
I don't think everyone wants to see me bone.
Oh my god.
I think calling lightning or the witch bolt is probably going to be the most effective thing to do right now. That is not going to cause a lot of problems immediately.
Okay. The damages. 16's a lot of damage.
I did roll it as a level, or I cast it at level 2.
Oh, that's why it seemed high.
Yeah.
Do you want to move, Kel?
Sure.
And it looks like it's initiative 10 for these douchers to go.
The douchers.
Oh wait. Sorry. One more thing.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna move the badger near that, but
Oh, well, I'll put him back.
it won't actually do anything. So.
Okay.
I think. No, actually, it might do something. Fuck it. It's going to claw and bite the stupid berserker that has been useless this entire fight.
13 misses, 22 hits. 4 points. It slashes not. It's not a great attack. You've seen it do a lot worse. It just rakes him across the belly a little bit, and he drops his axe and just starts cowering in front of it, hands and knees, trying to crawl away from the badger.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
You may make an attack of opportunity.
Oh yes.
Hit. 7 points. You've eviscerated him from the backside. He's trailing a line of intestines as he's crawling. He makes eye contact with Alexis, and he's begging, pleading for his life. Please, save me! As he's vomiting blood and viscera. Obviously, he was a craven, maybe forced here under penalty of Mumble's debt.
Man, this badger's clutch.
He is a clutch badger for sure.
Okay, that's it. Sorry.
Him is out. Alexis and Jezza. Oh wait, sorry, one turn. The Dragonborn frees himself from the tar and moves into adjacency with the cube. And now it's time for Alexis and Jezza.
I guess I just boom about something about the storm again.
Okay, make a persuasion roll.
Okay. The connection to the server has been interrupted. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with my connection to Roll20, but the last 2 times it's just decided to say, screw me, right? So
Will do us a favor, just pick a random number from 1 to 20.
Ha.
You don't want mine. I rolled an 11. A d20 plus 7 came up as an 11.
Well, I'm refreshing the page, so it'll be a second.
Jezza, why don't you take your turn while waiting for Alexis?
Okay, I'm gonna move over here, and I'm going to try and play down Kig once more
Huh.
with a persuasion
Tell
roll.
'em.
Yep.
Okay.
There it goes.
Make your persuasion. Yeah. I'm talking about how the coward's done nothing but run from the fight all day. Don't put your faith in him. And you can see it start to change people's minds as you point out that he's very small, very frail. He's behaved like a craven coward all night, running from fights, letting other people win for him. And then just, is this your champion? I think not.
Sorry, I didn't mean to roll that twice.
Joining in the chorus, Alexis also starts turning basically everyone on that crescent half of the arena against Kig's sword.
With that, I end my turn.
Alexis, did you want to do anything, or we got to Leo?
Well, when you said roll persuasion, I rolled a. I think if it's the first one, a 13. So
Yep. Yeah, you were helping change the hearts and the minds on that crescent side of the arena that you guys are both on, turning favor against Kig's sword.
Yeah. So that would be my turn.
We'll go to Leo. Leo will hit the cube. Hit.
Holy shit.
Jeez.
He smashes the cube into jelly bits, carving through it with his hammer. His strength is undeniable. He's pummeled some of it so far into the ground, into the sand, that it doesn't reform. The creature's in very, very bad shape. Likely the next blow or two will kill it. It is the cube's turn. The cube will make one pseudopod on Zaz, one pseudopod on Leo, starting with Leo.
Can I ask if it takes fire damage?
Yeah, does it take fire damage?
It does.
Because it's low enough, that might be really relevant.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Zaz.
Hey, that kills it.
Yes!
Oh.
I told you I should have lit it on fire.
As it rears to destroy Zaz, it just gives up the ghost. It loses all structural integrity and just oozes out like a sudden flood. A bucket of water dropped in the arena, just washes all over everything. The crowd cheers. It is not frequent that this many combatants remain at the end of a challenge. Zaz, you and you alone make a perception check for me.
That is this one.
Wow.
Amongst all of the debris and detritus, like small fragments of bone and stuff wash against you. There's the inorganic material that is undigestible, the shields, the swords, the daggers, the arrowheads, all wash past you. But something gets tangled up amongst your greaves. You look down and there's a large amulet, a heavy, hefty medallion that's got links of gold chain, and it just seems to have been snagged on your greave.
A whole crowd of people is going to see Zaz like unnaturally snatch that gold relic up and like clutch it to his chest under his shield. Like this, he makes it very clear, this is mine.
Dibs. Since the crowd is confused, the people are unsure what to do. Zan enters the arena, and the guards come with her. The whole retinue steps into the arena, and they order all combatants to place their weapons on the sand.
What?
I put my dagger on the stand.
There you go. Clearly, I'm no danger to anyone anymore.
Yeah, same. Zaz drops his warhammer.
Mm-hmm. Once everybody has complied, Zan walks behind each combatant and, using the amplified voice provided by a cantrip spell, asks the arena to choose tonight's winner. You've watched them all. You've seen them win. You've seen them lose. But who is your champion? She places one hand
dear.
over Kel. And there's some applause. You hear one guy go like, "Yeah, more like their badger."
Yeah.
She goes to Leo and asks, "Is this your champion?" There's a good round of applause. There's some uproarious cheering, some huzzas, some drunken dwarves who have like begun celebrating far too soon. I'm happy to see one of their own represented in the games. Next to the Dragonborn, who gets few, but he gets like that kind of like solemn respect from people. He stood in there. He wasn't a dick at any point. He did try to help other people, but not your champion for tonight. Jezza and Alexis, that leaves 2 people.
What about the badger?
That leaves 2 people. You can sort of, at this point, the 2 of you can kind of be kingmakers here. You can sway to a degree. I've been sort of keeping a tally of what you guys have been doing, motivating the crowd-wise, and I've got a score here that I'll let you attempt to shift one way or the other with a persuasion roll. Either pushing it for Zaz being tonight's champion or Kig being tonight's champion. Those are the first and second place finishers, but your guys' uncontrollable influence over the crowd will be the deciding vote, probably. Who wins?
I kind of move on over to Alexis, kind of like elbow or like nod, like Kig, like we're both in agreement, like that's
Kig.
the plan.
Yes, Kig.
Yeah. And we both kind of just start. We just in a chant. We just start shouting, "Kig, Kig,
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 Kig."
Yeah.
You
Very convincing.
give me a persuasion roll, actually, both of you,
Okay.
to make sure that you can. Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's not a 12 or better.
We didn't
Mister, I
find
have
out.
a +7.
I do.
Maybe we
Wow.
should, quote unquote, fight it out.
The crowd, when she approaches Kig, the hometown hero, the people's champion, the known quantity, she puts her hand above his head, and the crowd goes wild, absolutely wild, berserk. It seems like that's probably the winner, but as she approaches Zaz, before she even puts her hand over his head to count votes, people are also on their feet, chanting, screaming, using artificial, sound makers. There's a cohort of people right around him that all seem to know him. The blacksmith whose son was saved by Zaz on the road is cheering and hooting and banging his blacksmith hammer on the on the stone of the Colosseum. You feel like this is going to be way, way close. Zaz, it probably wouldn't take much to sway the crowd one way or the other. If you want to claim victory for yourself, a small persuasion check, dazzle them with some lightning and thunder again, could easily win you the day. Or if you wanted to do something deferential, you could probably easily give it to Kig.
What's it gonna
Oh, that's so harsh.
You feel the adrenaline coursing through your body. The people want you as their champion. It is their will. You need only step up and claim it.
Can I do?
Zaz claims it. Zaz claims it.
Using some thunder and some lightning, the crowd goes berserk as you create roiling storm clouds above you, arcing lightning, booming thunder, and the whole crowd just starts cheering, "Storm God! Storm God! Storm God!" Yeah. What do you want to do when the crowd's distracted, Feisty?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna animate that corpse.
Whoopsie!
If I, yes, I think I need to be. I was gonna do a skeleton actually.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be gross. That skeleton's gonna come out of the flesh and oh, gross.
Just stand up out of his meat suit. I don't know. Oh, I'm having Roll20 lag now. Perfect timing. It won't search the compendium.
Welcome to my life.
This will be fine.
Sorry, basics, but there's this beautiful like Mighty Ducks moment where the crowd starts chanting his name, and like the blacksmith and the goblet groupie are like picking him up and patting him and trying to goad him forward. And he's like, "Yeah, I can do. Yeah, I did
No,
it."
All I'm gonna say,
I personally
I'm the
love
one
it
that
because,
started this crowd to go with you. Just
Mhm.
saying.
That's also true.
You get to explain to Mumbles why you won now.
I mean, listen, that's a problem for Zaz for like 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, future Zaz can handle.
Let him have these 15 minutes of glory.
Sounds like we're gonna have to fight Mumbles.
What? Steal his cannon machine that he's gonna shoot us out of to get up to the city in the
Feisty, see
sky?
if you can move the skeleton just for future knowledge and power.
I cannot right now. We'll probably have to do the same thing we did with the other stuff.
Okay. All right. As you guys are being ushered back underground by the guards, Jezza and Alexis, you guys are also gathered and grouped together to be brought down beneath the portcullis. Zaz, the champion, gets to take one loop around the arena as everybody cheers for him. Women are swooning, men are cheering, huzzah! People are literally throwing money at you. If you want to collect some on your victory tour, you can gather
absolutely
up to 65 gold pieces as people show their praise and thanks. And the blacksmith that you recognized and who recognized you from living here previously, whose son you saved on the road, it remarks that the amulet that you found, that you picked up, was significant. He calls it Gladiator's Glory, and it belonged to the previous champion. He says to take good care of it.
Oh, thank you. I will. Thank you so much. Oh, is everyone okay? Oh shoot. And like on that victory lap, Zaz is going to at least check on the unconscious people that got dragged out.
The unconscious people are fine, but unfortunately, that one guy, he did.
That is extremely tangentially Zaz's fault, and won't keep him up at night.
Does the skeleton keep the equipment that Deadeye had?
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
You have a
Making him
skeleton
an
archer now.
excellent skeleton archer. Yeah.
This is great.
You're
Literal
WoW
Minecraft.
Oh,
yeah. So that will end it here, I think. And rather than getting into the nitty gritty of the next part and the deal with Mumbles, we'll just pause it here since it seems like a good stopping point. Does anybody have Identify Magic?
I do.
Zaz, do you want to have someone look at your amulet? I guess is how I should have started that inquiry.
Yes, it would be nice to know what it does, even if he's like fiercely clasping it.
I'll burn a spell slot to identify it. Oh, dang.
I still can't see it because this website is trash. There it goes.
Your constitution is 19 while you're wearing this amulet.
Oh. Damn. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a tanky lizard.
It is now.
Yeah.
and it's also pretty fitting considering what that lizard just had to go through.
Yeah, I think you earned that, Zaz.
Yeah, that was truly appropriate.
Ugh, that was a stressful session.
All right, so first, I really enjoyed that, but that was my. Hold on. Gather my thoughts better. I had to cut some aspects of the fight because I was worried about being short 3 people. And I know we made some mistakes that skewed the difficulty probably more than it should have been, but this was intended to be a deadly encounter. I've never played with 8 people before. With the scaling, was this too much, or did this feel like appropriate for what you would classify as deadly? Did this feel like you guys were in jeopardy, or does it feel like really only one person was, and we didn't have to burn a ton of resources?
I felt pretty in jeopardy once that guard started beating my ass.
Yeah,
He did a pretty good job of it too.
I burned
We did.
like almost half my spell slots, and those were
Okay.
like important spells to burn. So it was significant, if not deadly.
I would say so too, because even as someone who didn't involve in direct combat, like my options were limited as to how, like, for the sake of the story, what our goals as our characters are. Is looking at this with what my options were, it was actually quite harrowing, because it's like once I was in the stand without the tar bombs, I'm like, I was kind of sitting there going, I can't do anything. Zaz is gonna die. I'm not the healer monk.
Really, Cal kind of goofed and should have just bestowed curse on the cube right at the beginning, just to trivialize that part of the fight.
I felt like, in terms of just eating resources, it felt like a deadly encounter to me. Like you wouldn't want to do more than 1 or 2 of those in a given day. I just wanted to give like a temp check from you guys as players if that felt overwhelming or underwhelming threat-wise. And then follow-up question as I continue to sort of design around 8 people. Is a big fight like this, where it's kind of the set piece for, it ended up being most of our night was just this one fight. Is this more fun, less fun, or as much fun as a smaller fight? We've done a couple of each variety of encounters where I try to intersperse some social exploration stuff when we can, when it's appropriate. But it's in just terms of combat. Do you prefer like a faster combat against, one large enemy or a couple of small little minions, or something more like this where it's kind of a set piece adventure? Or is there just a place for both and you'd rather me just keep doing a little bit of either?
I feel like there's a place for both. If you did this every session, it would get exhausting.
for
Yeah,
sure.
it would get really
Yeah.
exhausting.
I think they're both good. I think this should be on the minority, though. The other one should be the majority, because when let's say we have a full game again where we have every player and everyone can make it, I realistically think if you want to devote an entire session effectively to what is maybe a major set piece fight, it should be something that is intrinsic to the story. So even if it's something that everyone is invested in from start to finish, especially if it is going to be a 3-hour combat encounter.
Yeah. I think it's like important story beats this makes sense for, but otherwise not so much of this, and more smaller things that we don't have to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Or if
still
it's
good.
like, if it's an interesting mechanic fight, I'm happy to have those sprinkled in too.
Well, I liked the way that I had initially designed it on paper as being like kind of mechanically heavy. I will admit that it got long in the tooth, but I didn't want to cheapen. It got to a point where like Zaz was doing so well, I didn't want to cheapen it by being like, oh, and then everybody died and you win. Congratulations. Just to end the encounter faster and get on to the next thing. It seemed like he was having a crucible moment.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to let it play out organically. But on paper, I wanted this to be like a simple matter of lightning bad, tar bomb good. You figured out the mechanic, and it's done. We're done in 60 minutes. Was kind of how I intended this to go. But since it ended up being a whole night set piece, I just thought I'd touch base with you guys, make sure it's not like my intention would only be to do something like this, like everybody was saying, as a pivotal moment in the story, or as like a giant battle that we know ahead of time we're going into. But since it sort of accidentally became that, I thought we'd temp check that as well.
And for the record, I wanted you to have an idea of what I thought was going to happen. So I thought that cube, it wasn't like intrinsically tied to the cube, right? I thought it had to be aimed, and so at that point it was standing right here, and then it moved like up to here, but there were people standing right here. So I was just like, it was before the gold went all the way up, so I didn't think that the guard had already adjusted where the zap was going to go. So I thought I was going to zap somebody in the area of where it was previously. And so when Try was like, it hits the cube, I'm like, well, shit.
Damn it.
I don't think it was aimed. I think the cube just attracted electricity to it.
I understand that, and that's why. And I wasn't sure if that's exactly how it was going to go. So I'm just like, I was like, like screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got
but
an
no,
unfortunate for science result.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think, on a personal note, like, even let's say that decision was to kill Jezza, like, literally just outright, like, I got thrown in, point blank, I was in between me and the laser, and Jezza became literally dust in the air. Like, that's not any, like, yeah, someone was the cause of that, but it's not a fault, per se, because D&D is a shared storytelling experience. Like, if at that point it'd be like, if I wanted to bow out of the game, I could, realistically, or there is a narrative framing for getting a new character into the encounter. It's like, hey, you have a chance to re-roll here. You can make functionally an identical character. We can play mystical mumbo jumbo to keep Jezza in, or you can make something new. They did it in Critical Role with Molly, as far as I'm aware. Like, as long as the objective is that the story is interesting and it wasn't done out of spite. Like, it was, you didn't do it specifically because this is gonna fucking kill Zaz, isn't it? Fuck it.
No.
Like,
no, and it was also supposed to be kind of more comic relief anyway, because I'm just like, oh, what does this do? And then be just like, pull the lever, Crunk. But then I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah, because it's like, even at the end of the day, if I'll not ramble here, but like, D&D is, even if it's not 100% full on, it's role playing. Even if it's not a decision you yourself would make as an intelligent individual in the modern era, your character, despite how smart they are and how you play them as, still won't make the same decisions as you do.
Right. Yeah. And Alexis has always been inquisitive. I think it wasn't out of character. I think you're giving yourself too hard a time on it, but I don't want to waste any more time because I know some people have to go. If I could probe you guys for one more bit of criticism, since I'm still trying to get a feel for exactly how everybody prefers to play D&D. When something like Alexis flipping the switch happens, which I have to be honest was not in my initial assumption of things people might do. I thought an equally awesome pivot was the tar bomb on the console to prevent it from being shocked again. That was pretty smart and very cool. But having the guard react like that and hit you he was never part of the initial framework for the encounter. That was more like me just kind of riffing on what you were doing. And I've had some play groups in the past that really don't like that kind of reactionary DMing where it feels like they're being punished for something. I also, like, my own style is to create real world consequences. I'm not like I don't want to be a hard ass about it, but at the same time, like, if you repeatedly steal from a merchant and he catches you at some point, I feel like that escalates into something. So,
no, absolutely.
Did I cross a line? Did it feel punitive or like reactionary for me? Like
The second smack in the face felt a bit like you were punishing me, but the first one made sense.
No, I thought that was entirely in character.
No, and it was.
Not even.
Absolutely, it was. Not
even like, would you stop zapping me, character? But like, oh yeah, the guard would beat the crap out of you because we're in the slums.
Yeah, well, it's like I was hoping that the first one you would have failed the strength check and hit prone, because I feel like that's a natural way to sort of end an engagement with someone, is if you knock them on their ass. But then you made the strength check, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to hit him again.
Yeah,
and at that point, I'm just like, all right. And that's when I wasn't gonna do the infestation the first time. The second time, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, then I thought, like, maybe this actually becomes a thing. Like, if Jezza comes over, does this just become their own little combat encounter? Do I just scale this guy down to like a CR2 or something and just have them have their own little combat in a combat? So I was going to roll with it, but then afterwards I thought, I should check with everybody and make sure that didn't read as like you ruined my DM plan, so now I'm going to murder your character, because that was never my intention, and I just want to...
No, I get it. No, I understand exactly how it went.
it basically comes down to I'm always down for interesting encounters over just stat encounters, but like reactionary stuff can always be fun as long as it's within reason. Obviously, like what you did was perfectly reasonable, I would say. So the whole thing of like if I had to come over there and we got into our own little combat encounter, it would have been interesting within the context of the story, but I think it would have been totally reasonable within the session and the game.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. If you guys ever feel like something that I'm doing is taking away from your enjoyment of the game or is crossing a line of like, this isn't really how I enjoy, this isn't how I like to roleplay, this isn't how I like to have things resolved, just let me know. Like I said, I'm still trying to get a feel for exactly what flavor of D&D everybody likes best. So hopefully a few more games of feeling it out, and then we'll be in a nice smooth rhythm.
I think I'll be a lot more. Enjoyable once I have better HP up level up rolls.
Yeah, it's always tough to be a sorcerer or a wizard like until 8 or 9. That's when they start turning the corner where you're outside of everything's ability to one-shot you, and you have so many useful defensive and utility spells that.
Yeah, but my thing is like, what I'm pulling from is I used to play a draconic one, which has a massive AC. They're basically just a tank. So it's kind of an interesting gameplay change to have a 13 instead of a 18.
Yeah, step lightly.
Right.
All right, guys. So like we talked about, Dead Week on the 27th or whatever that was, in pull up a calendar. Yeah, Dead Week 27th. We'll aim for the 11th, barring Final Fantasy's raid release. We'll see everybody in WoW and WoW-related content long before then, but we'll take a big, long pause on D&D.
And since I'm not moving at the end of this month, apparently, which means I need to pay rent, I will be there.
Awesome.
Also, if we want to have a one-shot, I'm happy to run something on Black Friday if a couple of people still want to play.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, if you wanted to do that. Megan and I have a Black Friday tradition for like going on 16 years, so it's just kind of a special day for us. And then I figured with Shadowlands out, most people were going to want to just be no-lifing the game anyway. So if it was like a double dip of